Let's not be mean to him over something he doesn't have the power to control, and that, he doesn't actually want.
He would never ban us.
He would choose
Of
us.
course not. Of course he would.
Yeah. That's at least what we'll tell each other at night when we're crying ourselves to sleep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. It's fine. We have each other for comfort.
We do.
And
Though amidst
So much warmth. Everywhere is
warmth?
warm.
I have enough of that.
It
Get
is.
away
Yes,
from me.
it's so hot. I don't want to leave you near me.
It's actually raining right now over here, unfortunately.
Oh, yes. Please say that that's coming east. Please.
Halldamir,
Yeah.
ready my horse. We invade Ireland.
Atlantic weather.
I
Tell
don't
me.
know, it's raining, but it's humid. It's like 95%. I don't know if you want to be here.
Man, I would take rain to cut through the heat. Oh.
The problem is with being that humid, it actually doesn't feel very good.
It doesn't feel very
I
good.
can
It feels
deal with
wet and sticky
humid,
rain.
man. I can deal. I just.
Hu-
It's a comfortable. Alright, I think we're ready
It sounds like we're all in an abyss right now.
In the Underdark, it's not hot. Though. In the Underdark, it's really, really cold because the sun is really far away and mostly geothermal heat. Place.
I've got thundery showers coming apparently.
The
You know,
one
Roland's
time I
okay.
would consider going to the Underdark is no.
No, Roland's currently okay with the heat, however, because he's a pyromancer. Just make more fire.
Yeah.
That will. So
Well,
last time something we're waiting for the drow to have a meeting with Zentarum.
I mean,
Yeah,
I did
why
the.
don't we have a recap?
I did it last week.
Sure, I can give it a go. I don't recall much, but I will fill in as much as I can because it is long due for me to do one. So last time, after our horrifying encounter with Jubilex and most of us getting a bunch of madness, we finally made our way to Mantle Dereth, where the Zentrum basically give us a way to lead us through the city in a way that we're not completely disintegrated by the security. So we were led into the city and went south a ways before we came to a bit of a alcove leading out into a wide open water area where we met this elf who seemed a bit distraught and a bit surprised really to find us there. It turned out that he was there to study the madness in a way. However, his methods weren't really, let's say, comfortable in a sense that he had somehow convinced himself, either through his own madness or some other influence, that in order to remove the corruption and madness from other people, that he could somehow see as marked to him, he would kill them and eat their liver, and somehow the madness would be cleansed. So we didn't. Well, some of us didn't think that was a very good idea. So we hatched an even worse idea, which was, I wonder if we kill him, will that get rid of his madness? So we tried that and brought him back to life, which he was very traumatized by and didn't really give us much input. But it did seem like it did something. But in a kind of lapse of watching him, he slipped into the water and shapeshifted into a water creature and escaped, which was unfortunate. So then after that fiasco, we decided to actually go into the main city area, where a bunch of Jaragar were basically executing a bunch of deep gnomes, which we found out was because they had stolen something, which was against the law. And if you break the law in Mantle Dereth, then you will be killed. No questions asked. That's just how it is. So that wasn't great. We tried to ask them what was going on, and had a few language barriers again, which basically amounted to them telling us to go away and stop bothering them as they tried to like break into the Swift-Nephilim like enclave in the corner of the city. So we went north to the market to check what was going on, and I think it was Cyrilla with her huge passive perception noticed a figure huddling, trying to hide, which turned out to be Swift-Nephilim called Peebles, a surgeon who came here uh, for some reason to fulfill I think a contract of sorts that he was asked to do, and found himself in this situation. So we decided to bring him with us to keep him safe, which led us north here to where we are, which was the human enclave, I would suppose, and met Gazrim Dulak himself, which was a bit of a surprise, even though we knew he was the Zentrum representative here, and also the one who had kidnapped Riordan and sent him down here with the Drow, and didn't seem too phased or bothered or even any which way apologetic about what he did. He seemed very happy about it, which wasn't great because he's an asshole. But we have to cooperate with him. So he told us that they had found a way to the library pretty easily, but they hadn't really, I suppose, exploited it that much. There wasn't much that they could glean from it, seeing as how the location was a bit difficult to hang around in the Worm Ridings. But he did agree to help us get there, pending a meeting with the Drow that he had arranged. And I think after that, we tried to get Joran Diskin from the Drow embassy out. After like a bit of back and forth and silliness with a Drow mage, finally we got to talk to him and get some answers for about Roland's family. And I think unless I left anything out, I think that's basically what happened up to then.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, so you're here. Currently, Gastron Durlock has promised you that he will show you how to get to the library as soon as his meeting with the Drow has gone off successfully. You've decided so far to simply sit about and wait. The sounds of Dwargor smashing the Rivneblan enclave to the south, sort of echoing through the halls as the Drow, suspicious and well, backstabby as they are, sort of taking their time to prepare for whatever meeting there is. How do your characters feel as you sort of sit here just waiting, really? There's beds offered to you. I mean, it might be a while.
Well, I think Riordan himself is thinking about his reaction, his interaction with Gazrim. I think he felt that the meeting would be a bit more, I don't know, I suppose his character would be a bit more villainous than it is. I mean, right now, to him, Riordan just feels like he's just a immoral, pathetic character that would do anything to fuel his needs, and not actually someone that he would feel justified or even satisfied in getting revenge on. It's kind of left him a bit lost at this point. But I think he feels a bit more resolute now that he has actually met the man who has brought him down here and realized that going through the Underdark has really made him into a person that has far more fortitude and strength than Gazrim even himself realized he had. So I feel like that now he's kind of in a few moments of deep thought about what his priorities are and what he actually wants to do in the situation.
If Roland's been offered a bed, Roland will certainly take it to like lay down. And there's been a drastic change in Roland's disposition. after the events. For the last, what's probably been the last month or so, pretty much ever since we got close to the surface, Roland, probably a few months at this point, Roland has been irritable, kind of constantly kind of active, every single night training, constantly kind of pushing himself as hard as he can. And now he's just kind of laying down, just thinking to himself. The drive that was running through him to kind of move forward, learn more, and kind of get closer to his goal, kind of hitting a bit of a brick wall of him not entirely sure how to proceed. He has information which he's glad about. He's glad to know that his uncle Celeron is protecting the others, but at the same time, he's kind of lost for knowing exactly what, how to proceed, how he can move forward. He knows where they are, but there's somewhere which in his mind is essentially impenetrable at the moment, and he doesn't. And as a result, he's a bit lost on what to do, and kind of his motivation is kind of, simmered down greatly.
I mean, going next, sort of talked about Gesh's feelings already last session, and they haven't really changed much. Perhaps even the sort of anxiousness he has to be finally so close to his goal that he's been basically pursuing for the last 1.5 years or so at this point. Getting to the library, it sort of feels like it's getting close. I mean, Gavin Vlog said that the way really isn't that difficult, and they are going to lead us there, so doesn't really have any. I mean, he is a soldier with Growl, so he might be trying to do something backstabby, but why? On the other hand, apparently getting to the library isn't that difficult, and apparently the library isn't as mythical as Gash thought, with a number of people already having been there, which sort of means that it can't be as all-powerful as he really needs right now. We want to fight all the demon princes. It has to be something amazing, or this is not going to work, and that's a bit worrying. Gash would probably spend most of his time just waiting here, sort of taking out the mushroom rations or whatever that we're carrying, sort of carefully scratching and carving them into little bookshelves before eating them tentatively. Just generally pacing a lot, really.
Peebles watches him do that, sort of fascinated and slightly confused with this weird surfacer thing.
And I think Cyrilla's frustrated that we're having to wait on Drought again, really, and we're just sitting around for the whims of them. And it's sort of niggling at her that while they're sitting around doing nothing, countless people could be dying or being corrupted, and it's, not great. But she's trying not to dwell on it too much.
Yeah. So generally, it's a fairly somber and thoughtful camp.
Even Roland for once being quiet.
Perhaps you don't say much as the Centauran guard come out and ask if you slept well, give you a bit of ale in the morning, and ask if you could, the drow coming, so if you could go hang out someplace else while they do business, that would be great.
Well, okay.
I mean, there's not really anywhere for us to
Yeah, that's the thing.
hang out.
I mean, down there is people hacking away at a.
Roland personally is content enough, like, oh, okay. want me to go somewhere else? He basically just, I think his initial thought would just be like skulk off like near to the side of the river, so like, down here, and then he's just gonna like just stealthily sit down.
Why, yes, Gesh is going to go somewhere else, but Finger Muncher, who can really say what he does, you know? It would be a shame if he hid somewhere close by to eavesdrop, right?
What? Bjorn is going to.
Also, considering down here was supposed to be with the Dwergar one, they don't have a problem with us directly, so
No, that's true.
The Dwergar are on the other side of the trench.
yeah. So I mean, it's safe enough to be down here.
Yeah.
Look at the gross dark lake water. All this running, of course, into the...
Problem would actually go around and sit on this side. We'll stay away from the drow.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
the mushroom patch. Liam is going to go and bathe in the gross dark lake water.
Is he okay?
If he wants to do that, that's his problem.
Yeah.
I think Liam wouldn't care. You know, whatever. Drow, Centaurum, you know, he doesn't care. Makes sense.
Roland's
Finger
going.
Muncher, I guess, is on Gester.
He's just gonna hang out here.
Silver casually stalks the others.
Roland's gonna like take out like his sketch. He's gonna take out like one of his journals and start sketching again, trying to work again on what he was trying to draw before.
Cirilla's just going to pretty much sit around, maybe write in her journal, and try and relax a little bit. Definitely not going to dip her toes in the river, because she doesn't want webbed feet when she pulls them back out.
Have a chat with Peebles and see what he's all about. Some small talk, maybe. If he's up for it.
Sure, Pubis doesn't like the Centaurum though. He makes that thoroughly obvious as he talks. They're the bad people coming down here to pry their sadistic tendencies, and ruining all of his people's good morals and such with
Tell me all about it.
terrible black offers.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, you see up north, the pavilion is sort of gotten ready. It seems like they want to meet the drow in there. Yeah, air it out, remove some stuff, clean up the tables. And then the drow procession begins to walk. Who's interested? Hanging out. It seems to be led by a drow in like robes with glittering magical enhancements upon them. Followed by a bunch of drow wearing studded leather armor and big shields, together with their short swords and hand crossbows. The typical heavy guard, of a drow of some importance. They move in coldly. The guards sort of moving out a little bit here. Ready. As to lock. Now. Lorthun. Giving a flashing smile. The talks begin in, well, drow language. Seems that Gastrom has learned it well enough. Just trying to listen in to anything?
He would have basically instructed Finger Muncher to listen to whatever seems interesting to him.
can he understand it though, or can he understand everything?
I mean, if they are talking drow language, then he can't understand a word.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
He will mentally convey every single word to Gesh.
Thank you. Great.
Darn.
You know.
Malicious compliance.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
Seemingly about to come to some sort of agreement. Ninod, Gastrom has a flashing smile. The drow do not seem to appreciate it, really, but he doesn't seem to mind. their eyes every now and then going over to the big beholder, sort of hovering behind him. Apparently, it gives him some street cred to have that.
Oh yeah, it makes everybody useless. Of course it does.
Yeah, I mean, the beholder
the
mostly
beholder.
looking at this person, who seems very uncomfortable. You can see the shine of the magics put upon her just fade under the beholder's gaze as it watches the powers of its magical eyes making magic disappear. Perhaps, however, it should have looked someplace else, because suddenly one of the drow guard, having stared at it for a little while, jumps at it.
Oh no.
Oh, that's dumb.
That's dumb.
and,
Yeah.
and brings a blade into it.
Oh.
I am not getting involved.
Nope.
With an automatic critical.
What the hell, man?
That's so
This
rude.
beholder has so many eyes. You didn't see that one
He
person.
did nothing
see it coming.
wrong.
He's terrible.
Poor beholder,
Stabbing
what
him.
did he do?
He should have like 40 passive
Right
perception.
in the eye, as
Oh,
a
great.
massive mouth opens. Gazrim stands up. Drow stand up. Everyone freaks out
Uh-oh.
as a gargoyle jumps down from the ceiling to assist by stopping the drow from moving away.
Okay.
It is a terrible madness. Combat ensues, effectively.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let them have more
Oh,
troubles.
yeah.
I'm not getting into this. They told us to go away. We're going away.
I'm gonna watch
Lore
from afar.
soon beginning to well, it's a light show, to say the least. The beholder, having had a sword stabbed in its eye, doesn't seem to enjoy that very much, and from its sort of wound, sort of purple blood just squirts. Peoples quickly looks to you and says, "Well, we won't get a better chance than this."
Oh boy.
He does raise a good point, although
Oh.
perhaps
Yeah, but yeah.
we want this Zentaran to lead us, but if it looks like we could get away with perhaps taking Gazrim the Lock captive and having him lead us this way, well, maybe we should jump on that.
Oh god.
Wouldn't you like that?
Actually
Yeah.
insane.
I would, but how do you know we won't get horribly killed in the process?
So this thing, they will clearly quickly subdue their attacker if no one moves to help her. However, the beholder is wounded and certainly seems very mad at her, the gargoyle. I'm gonna need a split-second decision here. So, do you want to join? Just put a Y or an N in the chat.
I vote yes.
And put it in there.
All right. But yeah, let's vote. I don't want to like drag us into this.
Yeah, this is I'm afraid not a Cirilla thing.
The
I don't-
idea is tempting, but
I don't,
like the
and I don't
prospect.
have a strong opinion either way. So
So that's a no.
Say,
All right. So, Gesh rushes forward. Join. Yeah.
I mean, if he doesn't
have support.
get like the acknowledgement of his companions, he would like maybe get a bit closer to maybe, you know, he wants to make sure that Gazrin Dulok survives. If he's in danger, he's going to do something.
Gastro Dulog is not in danger. The beholder with him, however, seeming to have been weakened by the stab, perhaps some sort of poison being on there, as some of its eye stalks sort of begin to wither and like clearly have a terrible time of it. Gastrim seems worried as he looks to the drow, who even as they try to attempt to stop this other drow from acting, perhaps have gotten a little more happy now that but the beholder seems weakened. As you do not intervene, however, it isn't long before the two combatants are killed.
That's
Though
good.
they are significantly strong and do take some enemies with them. Fighting bravely, almost with a mad glint in their eye, a hatred that goes beyond telling.
Oh wow.
And the bright side, the beholder is now weakened.
Yeah.
It looks like it'll take it a bit to recover from that.
Now we have leverage, and we didn't even do anything.
As the drow fall, the other one seems somewhat miffed about the whole thing. Having one of your elite guards attempting to kill the people you're talking to is not a good example.
Yeah.
They quickly excuse themselves as Gasford allows them to leave, far more fascinated with the corpse of the dead drow. He ruffles through it as Lawthorn swings its head around, bashing it into a pillar a few times because it hurts, probably.
I mean, all right. Are we trying to make friends with these guys for sure?
You
I
think of
that-
restorationing the beholder?
I mean, I can just
yeah,
heal
I
him.
mean, yeah. I mean, we might as well go up and see if they're all right.
Oh, okay.
Courtesy.
Cirilla will walk up.
Puts the bodies in the body pile. As he turns to look, the guards are stepping back here a little bit careful.
Oh yeah.
Cirilla,
As Lawthorn looks over, Gastron turns. The two elite guards coming from inside. Clearly, they weren't here they were here not to not scare away the drow, probably, but they sort of move out stoically, ready to protect Gastron now that his guardian is avenged. So they look to you and says, "I did say when we had a successful meeting."
Cirilla will
Dusts himself off.
Cyril will smile and
Still-
say that I simply wanted to come over to make sure that your good friend would receive some aid, and quickly.
You raise an eyebrow and says, "That is unexpectedly kind."
Of course, we are not exactly the selfless types in this case, so we are
Tell you
still
what,
expecting.
Should
a
you be able
service.
to restore Lawthun here to his healthy state, then I shall simply see you off right away.
Excellent.
Oh shit! All right, yeah, deal.
Awesome.
It'll allow me to continue my talks to the drow. I have something to answer for now. Well, a few things at least. Just with a flashing smile.
What exactly
seems to be great
motivated?
news.
What exactly motivated that suicidal attack?
Shrug says, "I do not know. Some people have been acting strangely here for a while."
Almost like they're mad.
Oh man, how much is it gonna take to heal
Perhaps
this
it
big
was an
bastard?
attempt at drow trickery, but regardless, it failed, and, well, I doubt they will try again. If they do, it'll be hard for them to claim she was innocent. Just a bystander.
Where exactly is this pile of bodies?
They've thrown them like over here for now. Lothar might eat them later.
Roland, I don't suppose you could manage to steal a body right now, could you?
Still a body.
Yeah.
Steal a body.
A body goes beyond Mage Hand's subtle stealing.
Yeah, I think
What are you
Mage Hand
doing
can
with
only
body
lift like
sheet?
5
I would have
pounds.
to like manually go over there and take the body, which I can't really do.
I want to
Guess
see him do that
Gastron has
stealthily.
already got their like pouches and stuff.
Well, I don't care about their pouches. I care about their bodies that could be spoken to.
The point is, it's
Oh.
difficult for me to steal their bodies in the current state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
just
if
for
you
watching.
if you get an opportunity, just
Lothar hovers over here.
All right, Cyrilla. Let's help out.
Ho ho ho! All right, Cyril will say,
Let's see what you can do.
I will have to place.
Careful though. He is.
uh,
He bites. As Lothar looks at you, sort of goop running out of his eye as he still keeps it open upon you.
Cirilla will say, "I will need to touch you. Is that cool? Is that okay?
It just hovers
Yeah.
there.
All right. Let's just assume that it's okay."
Closes its eye.
Disintegrate.
And you can feel as
Disintegrate.
it does, because as long as the beholder looks at you,
Mhm.
you can't do magic.
Damn.
Magic does not work. Your magical items are inert,
Oh yeah, I
and,
forgot.
and nothing magical works in any fashion whatsoever.
But he's just closed his eye.
Just now.
All right.
time.
It's time to strike.
Stop.
Okay, Gash, now you cast banishment.
Okay, so Cirilla will. I mean, we can have a rest after this, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah. All right.
Your party's resting outside, yeah.
So I will pull all the stops out. I think.
Yeah. If you need assistance in just plain healing, I can help too if you need it.
Hey man, I've got.
People's just shaking his head from behind.
I just need a second to do this to maximize my healing,
Yes.
and then this. So that's going to be 5 times 8. Plus the 7. So at least 47. Oh, plus. Oh man, I've got so many pluses.
He also seems to have been poisoned.
Also seems to be poison. I could fix that. That's fine. That's no problem.
Out comes the restoration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, does he need more than 47? Because I believe I have
Yes.
more. Okay. All right.
Yeah, keep piling it. Pile
You
on.
have Beacon of Hope running.
Oh, I do have Beacon of Hope. So let me just figure out actually, because I've got so much. So, all right, I heal. Let's read
The amount of damage he took in 2 turns from that drow would kill any one of you. I'll tell you that.
Great.
Oh.
That's terrifying. Okay,
Wait, so does this guy get max healing from any healing now?
any healing that each target has
Yeah,
advanced
from any healing.
Yes.
Okay.
So hang on, I want to be badass, all right? All right.
Oh, of course, yeah. I'm just your
I mean,
spell's cool.
this is the
That's
life
all I was
cleric.
saying.
This is the life cleric's job, healing random monsters in dungeons.
Yeah.
It's true. 2 plus the spell's level, so yeah, that was 7. Oh wait, no, that's blessed healing. Preserve life. No, not that one. Disciple of life. That's it. 2. Yep. Okay. So it would be 50 hit points that I healed him for. From that one. You know, it's poison. You say? I believe Leicester Restoration deals with poisons. Yes, it deals with poisons. So we will do that. Clear him of his poison. And then...
Dawn.
Not Dawn, no.
Eye stalks begin to all raise up again, even though some of them are like scarred and burned from previous battles. They sort of
Hmm.
move and slither.
And then this is plus
He
6
watches you
plus
with them.
3. So 41. Does he still need a little bit more? Or a lot more?
Oh, he's good.
Does anyone? Alright, he's good. Alright, cool.
As the middle eye opens once again, banishing all of your magic.
Okay.
Goodbye, Beacon of Hope.
You hear a deep sort of, almost like a chuckle coming from the creature.
That was 3 spells, man. Come on. Ugh.
So Gastro sort of claps a few times, just slowly like,
Barely broke a sweat.
that is one of the most beautiful things I've seen all day.
And that's not even counting the magic.
And looks at you, perhaps hungry to eat you, but moves over and begins to gnash on some of the corpses instead. Moving down and basically hovering them up telepathically and then just swallowing them whole into whatever abyss is beyond.
Oh,
What
God.
was that idea?
Oh.
So serrated teeth, just shredding them.
Oh. Ugh.
Sort of vegetable cutter. bones leaving like sounds you would expect from throwing them in a wood chipper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gasser moves over, looking around, says, "You know, it has been a pleasure doing business. Now, I did say I would let you walk you there, but that's not necessary, is it? You can walk by yourself."
What?
He says, "Yes, the thing I will give you will show you the way. From me soon, you'll take off a ring.
Okay.
Okay, alright.
This is what I was talking about." Sure. It is a small golden ring with a big ruby in it. I see. Hold on. Wait, let me explain. This is a ring of passage. It is the sole thing that allows you to get easily to this library. If you lose it, it's not really my fault. Can't make another one. It was a rather costly deal to acquire this.
How did you acquire it?
There was a mage who wanted something of a resource lift. He was looking for the wealth, power of the Centaurum, and I could offer that. In return, well, I wanted access to this mythical place. He took me there. Allegedly, only someone who's been there could. And, well, I bargained with him, and he was kind enough to set up this thing. Because I couldn't really sell being there, and being there, well, I didn't really take the time to explore. Not my kind of place. But anyway, it's a one-time thing, so make sure you all go at the same time.
Where do we use it? Just anywhere?
Just put it on and you'll know the direction.
Okay.
That's
How
kind
long
of
does it last?
If you like a wing, like,
I think it's just a magical item that'll last until
it lasts
we get
until
there.
you use it.
Until we use it. Do you mean?
What does
Yes.
using it mean?
It will lead you to a circle. You stand in that circle, take it off, you cross the gem. Then
Okay.
you're taken to the library.
I see.
What do
And a
I?
way-
Both this will do.
and a way back.
You
Then?
can't be brought exactly there. You see, it's suffused with this stuff that makes teleportation very hard to do. It's a little bit outside, but you'll know it when you see it.
Is he being totally truthful? Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
One moment.
Incredibly.
One moment.
But plus, come on.
Gives you a bright smile.
I'm not even going to roll because Gash
Oh
just wants this thing.
yes.
Like polar opposites. What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, Roland, it seems to be the truth. It seems he might have embellished a little bit beforehand, but now he seems to be perfectly happy to give you everything. At least
Alright.
everything he can give you.
So we have a way there by teleportation, but do we have a way back? Is the question.
As if you're feeling well. Now, I would suggest you put on the ring and, well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you the password to the other door for free. Well, you did cure my friend of something that could have been nasty. Ah,
Yes, and something that is probably going to assure that the Zentarum remains thoroughly in control of Metal Death. We are aware of.
thoroughly, Miles.
Oh,
No
very
more
thoroughly.
Wergar, no more Sniplin, no more Drow. Just us.
Just you. Not that we could care any less, actually.
You know, that is what I like about you.
So when we get to
Wide
the
smile.
library, how will we get out?
Shrug, it beats me. You'll get there. That's the
That-
deal.
Let's take this whole thing one step at a time, shall we, Cyril? We'll burn that bridge once we get to it. Or find that bridge. I
Burning
suppose.
bridges.
don't like-
burn
If-
us.
You do that a lot.
If Roland didn't have his magic suppress right now, he'd casually create a ball of fire in one head.
Yeah, you're feeling terribly mundane and maybe also a little bit helpless.
it's a very unusual speaking, especially for Roland, who was taught like the basics like the basic idea of like cantrips and stuff since he was super young.
Gasfrim himself looks like a noble who knows some magic, but his people are exclusively muscular, heavily armed and armored dudes. Perhaps for this very reason.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess there's no time like the present.
Yeah. Put on the ring, Gash. I guess.
It has been very nice.
You're welcome.
We might see each other again someday. If not, I hope you live long and fruitful life. Good fortune to all.
Yes, fortune.
Sits down in his chair, leans back, and takes a couple out of wine and just bounces it, looking out over his city.
Well, let's leave. Fuck this place.
I'd like to have taken the ring,
Yeah, we can do that.
although he
Yes,
won't
from,
put
like,
it on
flick
quite
it.
yet.
Mhm.
Let's take a rest and then we can
So
do
as
the ring
people's
shenanigans.
sort of what you do.
Is there like another bottle of wine that's like close by that they probably won't miss?
Oh yeah, they have lots of it.
Roland,
Looks like they put extra out to look even more wealthy to the drow.
Roland, as he's walking away, will casually, as a quick action, have that enter his inventory.
Sure, no, do that.
Alright.
Yes,
Yes.
because actually, if you're going to stay here for a little bit, does any of you know how to sing? I'll pay well.
Mhm. We're not
Is that even
staying.
a question?
We're not staying
Sounds like
very long.
rhetorical to me, guys.
Perhaps it could be, but if you would sing a tune while I enjoy my drink, I'll pay handsomely given my recent windfall.
Cash will telepathically ask Riordan, are you really going to agree to probably stand on a table and sing for what I believe still is your arch nemesis?
Braden just shakes his head.
Maybe it's a song about how much he hates him.
Sorry, guys, but I have
How
a world
about
to save.
How about I? It's no trouble that no lack of knowledge that someone like you might have some trouble down here. You know, speaking to all the locals, just to the drow. I can give you something that would solve that forever. Raises an eyebrow. Be able to understand any language. All I would want is a little song.
Goddamn.
Maybe a few.
From any of us, huh?
I mean, as long as you can sing
No.
well.
Gesh, you've got good charisma.
To be fair, I have an indefinite madness, which is I take trophies of my enemies, but that doesn't mean to say that I take trophies from my enemy.
They are pretty different. Of and from are
Yes,
distinctly different.
They're distinctly different, but I feel like I want to do this.
I mean,
Also, Gash has charisma, but he also has dignity.
Wow.
and Cyrilla's highborn, and loves it, so she's not gonna dance for or sing for some dude.
As Roland will kind of look over to Riordan and just kind of, just kind of something, say that to him quietly, well, if you decide to, I can't sing, but if you want backup music.
You know what? Yeah. Rune's gonna sing a song for him about the story of a man who became a tyrant. Did a lot of unscrupulous things, and his own lack of morals led to his own downfall at the end of his life.
Yeah, I guess I think you guess from there was a lot of food set up for the drow, but they fought and left. Essentially, he's of a mood to sit here and eat his food. Maybe have his have some of his people partake a little bit too. He'd like some music for the occasion. You know a lot of songs from the surface. You know he misses them. He used to live in Neverwinter too, close to where you lived, and having some of those songs, a little bit of drink. That's something he's willing to apparently give you something priceless for, in his current state. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like his character is. How do I put this? There's nothing I could do as a character that would get Riordan to care about this man. Like, this man feels like just a puppet. Because the real villain is his aunt, because she is the one who, you know, she ordered this. He's just the man who pulled the strings, but she was in fact pulling his strings with money. So he knows who the real culprit is and who the real enemy he should be looking for. So if this man wants a favor, he'll give it to him.
Yeah, he will enjoy himself immensely.
And as I said, Roland is willing to help out Riordan with at least musical backup. He can't sing, but he knows how to play. He knows how to play his panpipes. That's fine. He's got proficiency in those.
Yeah.
And it turns out for Roland, sacrificing dignity in return for a great reward, he's okay with that. His dignity isn't worth that much to him.
I mean, we've
Gashman
had
seems to be a
experience with
man who enjoys buying people's dignity.
Yeah.
The rest of you
Fine.
perhaps return to camp while Roland and Riordan play music. Perhaps remembering the time they did the same for a dragon as it ate slaves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This perhaps being the less grim approach to it.
Much more comfortable.
You know, whatever is here might be earned with blood money, but at least the people in here screaming for help.
It's true.
So that helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You take your rest and then return to your camp.
Right.
What
While
do we
we're
get?
doing...
A surprise.
Oh yeah, that's
We'll do that when we've rested.
Sure.
And he actually gives it to you.
What can a character who doesn't have detect magic or identify or any spells of that sort do to make sure that this ring isn't terrible?
Well, you can
And
use your
does-
Arcana
You
to
can
check
inspect it with Arcana.
Okay.
Mhm.
Special.
I'll
Which-
give you a hand.
Sure, you can aid. It's fine.
Alright, I'll have advantage on this check then. Sweet.
Uh,
Here at the ring and
I could
Ah,
inspire you
okay.
to give you a bit of extra on it, if you would like.
good.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute inspiration. I'm sure that's enough to inspect
Oh,
the
look.
thing.
you could also have guidance. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, here. Let's see how good this ring is.
You will know.
Get a D8 and guidance, I guess.
D4.
What stack?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
stacks.
Yeah,
Oh,
stacks.
stacks.
Just make
I
sure to
rolled
use
a 23.
the
Okay.
macro instead of a D8. 'cause the
Yeah,
macro's
use the
up to your
macro.
character.
Yeah.
I also got guidance, which pushes that to a 26.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow.
then there's a macro.
On your
Yeah.
token, there should be now macro.
Yeah. A 30. Okay, tell
The
me
ring
about
is
this ring.
magical.
The ring is magical.
Yes, it's magical.
Yes, it appears that the ruby is in fact a magically crafted ruby, not an actual ruby. And such you believe that if you smacked it against the hard surface, you could shatter it like glass.
Mm-hmm.
Inside appears to be a small collection of what might be like a purple swirly substance, probably a component of the item created. The thing does seem to be attuned to the teleportation arts, and it also does seem to be actually like as you check it and touch it and move it about to be drawing your attention towards a sort of northwestern direction. It appears that there's no sort of. It appears to basically be consumable. There appears to be no lingering effects or permanent anything.
Awesome.
Like you could probably sell it for like 50 gold pieces
No.
if you just get the gold instead of using it.
Well,
Alright, well, I guess Gash will put it on, even though he knows that swirling purple substance usually means bad things. But, what
So
gotta
now
do?
he feels his attention drawn to the northwest,
Oh, that sounds very annoying to have that constantly at you.
and it's like oh, I kind of wants to look in that direction.
Yeah.
Just like lingering will begin to. So here his vision just kind of move there, look out there.
now we all know, always know where northwest is.
Covenant madness always drawn to look
No,
north.
unless you walk in such a direction that it's no longer that
That's
direction.
true.
True.
It's
Can
like
always
having a
look that way.
compass that points to a specific spot.
I mean, compasses already do that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I guess.
A location rather than a pole, is I think is what
Yeah,
Catherine,
that's what I mean.
delivers Riordan a helmet. It is nice looking. It has like a plume on it.
Okay.
Like imagine like a conquistador helmet with like a big plume.
Okay.
Well, one of his people gathers it and brings it. It clearly been immaculately cleaned and taken care of. Clearly a treasure. As the man perhaps is even a little bit unsure if he should be giving it to you, or like when Gasrim is going to spring his trap or whatever he's planned.
Uh-huh.
But seems Gasrim is genuinely interested in just giving it to you.
Okay.
Going so far as saying thank you, my son, as he does, and giving you a smile and a nod for telling you to go out there and show them what you're made of.
The hell's it do?
Yeah. Can I check it? I want to see what it does.
Sure. It appears to be a helm of comprehend languages.
Oh,
You put it on and you can understand languages as if you had. Well, you put it on and you can cast comprehend languages at will, which lasts an hour, and allows you to understand the meaning of any spoken language you hear, and of any text you see.
Okay. Text is good.
so if you can cast it at
If
will,
you
you.
touch a page, then you can read.
If
So
you can.
basically, technically, I would probably just have it all the time.
I mean, it get annoying, but you could do it when you feel the need.
Okay, cool.
By basically channeling the magic of the plumed helmet.
Does it require achievement?
Does it require attunement? No. You can
Okay.
just,
I was basically
nice.
curious for the question. I was like, could you basically just hand it around and give everyone a tournament?
it's not a big enough deal that it does. No,
Okay.
you can also just like, use the comprehend languages on. I mean, you could do it on yourself and then give it to other people. It lasts an hour. It would get annoying to do every hour, to
Right.
say the least.
The,
Every 50 minutes,
the
whatever.
point is at least like we
But
know
it
we
is
can do
possible.
it. We know we can do it.
It appears to be a priceless magical item that he handed over to you for whatever reason. You know,
Great.
as he waves at you and then goes to cackle maniacally at his power or something. Who knows? You're out of here.
Business is business.
All right, new thing to put in my personal notes: healed beholder.
Can we have? Should I have like another achievement unlocked message here?
I mean, you can do
Yeah,
He
you
it.
need to
seemed
find-
pretty miffed about this whole thing. He does not seem like he enjoyed the Centaurum,
Hmm.
nor does he seem like he enjoys selling out to them and healing them. He's going to effectively excuse himself as you return to your camp. So he will go and see what's going on with his people instead.
All right, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm thinking achievement unlocked medical observation.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I bet it's one of those.
because it would cease you.
Yeah, I bet that it's one of those achievements where it's got like a sister achievement where I healed one of the drow or something, and I have to replay the entire game to get to that.
I mean, probably like a third achievement, which is you killed the beholder.
Yes, I have to kill all of them. That's the hard
grim
mode.
dark ending.
Still pretty boring beholders available in this.
Yeah.
There's 6 beholder signals near you today.
6 beholder signals. Okay.
If you buy the $5 pack though,
Is there
early access.
a mithril full plate before we leave around here? Because I'm guessing there isn't, but it's
who
always
knows,
worth
right?
asking.
Just
Who
lying
knows,
around.
I mean, who knows who would be selling that stuff? Maybe Dwargar, maybe Drow, maybe Centaurum.
I wish I could
Maybe
afford
well,
it.
probably not the Swift Netherlands.
Probably not.
Dead,
Yeah, they're all
but,
fucking
Yeah,
masochists.
unfortunate.
The Dwargar maybe, but you know they're all meanies.
That's the 2 Darrow over there.
Can't
those-
afford it anyway. They want something from me. Oh well, let's go. Northwest arbitrarily.
Actually,
Not
as you-
arbitrary, it's momentous.
Sorry.
It is, yeah, you know, this guy's feeling differently now that he has, like, this thing. That he can just sense pulls him in the
You're
direction
welcome.
of a legend.
I mean, he's always felt pulled towards a place. He just but never put a direction to it. So this was rather nice, actually.
Yeah.
It's a purpose. It's all Gash ever wanted.
Maybe you'll be so busy trying to like focus on that sense that you just talk a bit less. Less lectures, more walking.
Wow.
As you return to the camp, so to speak, your people have been here for like the 2 days you've been hanging out in the city. You know, they've been doing their thing. It does appear that the Sladis has returned.
Oh.
He's off to the side eating some dry mushroom bread, perhaps for sustenance. He's not keen to talk, but Eldith will say that she shared a few words with some of the scouts you have, a few of whom he has sort of acquainted with, and he has chosen to follow you for now. He has sworn off eating meat ever. He cannot stand the taste or feeling of it.
So
he
he
will
like
never be the man he was, with the memories of the things he's done and seen.
But it worked.
But he will return, and he will attempt to someday redeem him.
It
worked, guys.
worked.
Yes.
I'm proud of us.
That 2 gold pieces of Jimdar was worth the cause.
Oh yeah, nothing to mention the 500 gold piece diamond that I spent.
I mean, you know, collateral, right?
Well, you see, the thing about gambling is that for us to succeed in our quest, fate has to be on our side. Otherwise,
Liam probably
we'll have no
judges
chance
all.
anyways.
Well, you know, he wouldn't judge us because I'll just stuff it in his face.
That's true. Well, at least I've still got the 300 gold pieces worth of diamonds for
I gave you
Revivify.
all my money though, so I think that was like half of the diamonds.
Yeah,
cost.
but I need to buy a diamond. That's the thing. It needs to
Yeah.
be a diamond. It's like a whole thing.
I have money.
No trade stations are out there on the dock, huh?
Well, none that I... Do they sell 500 gold piece diamonds? Those things must be huge, right?
Yeah, huge.
I mean, all
I can only assume Ebling could make that sort of thing.
Oh, that's
I
true.
mean, they might also have really good clarity to them.
Well, I suppose... How much did you give me again?
I don't remember. I've already taken off my character.
I think it was like 200 or something.
Yeah, it was
You'll have to go find a place you can buy another one. if you
Yeah.
need one. But,
Also, Gazram said he was going to give us the password to...
another door, he does.
Okay.
If you want to go past through the city to exit on the other side, going towards the Dark Lake, you certainly can.
Okay.
Not the
Well,
secrets in
whichever
Tarim door, though. He keeps that one for himself.
Oh, of course.
Of course he does. Well, you know, if this elf dude is okay, then that's good. Should probably heal him though. If he's not this badly hurt.
He says no, thank you. He feels that the wounds he suffered remind him of life.
Okay.
I mean, sure. He's going to spend the next 4 days feeling the ordeal of being dead. Or I suppose 2 days now. So
He could have spent the rest of his life probably.
yeah, but like it actively gives him a penalty for 4 days after I resurrect him. It's like a thing.
His eyes are sort of sunken in. He seems gaunt. He's a mess.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Poor guy. He was officially dead for over an hour. Anywho, glad he's back.
Continue on our way.
Yeah, let's go on an adventure. I am putting the 500 gold pieces away. I'm now practically broke. But if we stumble across a Swift Eblin with a really big diamond,
Yes.
then I'll
And you
know.
will kill him and take it.
Yep. Horrifically murder him.
Knowing you,
No.
you won't even steal it.
No, Cyrilla will pay for it.
I'll collect any weapons you got off his corpse.
Okay.
Never come in useful.
So, northwest from Mantol Dareth, huh?
Well,
Isn't
looking
that
at the map, that's
Glydenstone?
probably Blinkenstone, yeah.
Yeah, because if we're there...
This direction. Yeah, you're
Yeah, so we might as well go see our friends in Blydenstone as we
And get a
go
diamond.
past. Yeah, get a diamond while we're there.
Yeah.
Maybe some mithril
We
full plate.
are very
As you
close
move
to
in that
Benzo.
direction, though,
Mm-hmm.
you'll notice that it is actually not that far at all. Like, Langstone is still several days away of travel.
Mm-hmm.
This is more like 6 hours of travel.
Oh,
Okay.
Maybe
That's-
Gastron didn't want to walk so far. Maybe this was just a convenient spot.
wow.
Who knows? He didn't actually use this himself. He said it was something he got so that he could sell the information of where the location is.
Okay. So thankfully, though, we on the note of finding our way out after we find the library, we do have Roland who can't get lost in the
Oh,
ocean.
sure.
Well, if we teleport,
Yeah,
you
that's-
will know
yeah,
that we have
I'm-
teleported.
Wow.
Yeah, unfortunately, always good. Basically, Roland can always find his way back to where we teleported in, but it doesn't.
If we
mean
level
much.
up while we're there, then I could get teleported.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. All right.
We'll
Okay.
figure something out.
So 6 hours away, huh? 6, 7 hours
Not
away.
bad.
I guess we'll go.
Yeah, sure.
Exciting. Surely I won't be disappointed with the library.
You go, and you do find what you were promised. Basically, it is difficult, and you do have to backtrack quite a bit because the thing only shows you the direction, not exactly how to get there. So it's like, oh, we
Yeah.
need to go down, and then you go down to the cave you can find. Then, oh, you need to go up and then around, and so it does take like 2 days to actually find them.
That's understandable.
Trying to find cave paths in this. It certainly is not easy. You have to even move a few rocks and such. Probably obfuscated on purpose, though. As you find the circle, it is really very nondescript. Perhaps the obfuscation and sort of hiding it is more to prevent it from being randomly damaged than for other people to use it, as it seems like no one else would have a diamond ring of this craft. Yeah, the circle is nondescript, just a black sort of onyx room. Really, nothing much going on here. There's a few sturges and stuff in the tunnels, just enough to make them unpleasant, but nothing to really hurt you. You meet like 2 goblins and a goblin chief who see your caravan and then they run because I mean they can't possibly fight that.
One
Weird how
brave.
some
here.
monsters randomly come up and they're in tiny groups that can't hurt you anymore, so they leave. No point in that.
It's smart. They're learning.
Well, it's more that you're obviously stronger than them, and they don't want to die. So
That's true. I want to recruit
one
another
of them even had
splug. I
like a weird
think.
bloody bolt thing on his neck.
Yeah.
I've seen those before.
Yeah.
Perhaps because you're so close to the Dark Lake, the things that drink from it, they change. Who knows
Dark
what could
Lake
be in
is
there?
Demigorgon territory.
Yeah. The further we get from the dark,
Demogorgon?
I think it's Demo Gorgon, isn't it? He's a demo of a
Said his
Gorgon.
name 3 times.
He shall appear. No! Charisma saves everybody.
Avantra.
Angel. No? Okay. Damn. Worth a shot.
Yeah. The room, yeah, again, it's small. You can barely cram everyone you have with you in there.
Hmm. The whole caravan.
Yeah, I mean, assuming you want to take them.
Yeah, I was
Right.
not leaving them behind.
Gather around, people.
Snuggle up,
hold
get
hands.
close. Don't worry.
Roland does not look comfortable with this.
Don't worry about personal space.
It very quickly gets very warm and humid in there since there's no airflow in any way.
No.
whatsoever.
Ro-
It's one of those places where you've had to sort of, the medium of you have been had to sort of like crawl on all fours, like almost like a worm pushing you through tight tunnels and such to actually get into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Very tight and uncomfortable and sweaty and sort of scratches all over and whatnot.
Delicious.
Not fun place to be.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're here and it's a big enough place to stand up and such. Probably has been earth like changed to make it a bit bigger. Might even have had to do that a bit to just get in here from Jordan's heart.
Mm-hmm. I think I can even move some, yeah. Okay.
That said, yeah, you're here. Gesh has the ring. It makes him want to focus on being right here, right now. Very Zen feeling, really. Yeah.
You are one with the ring, and the ring is one with you.
In a very slow motion then, which will take off the ring and double check that we are all in fact standing where we're supposed to stand before he crushes the one used teleportation key.
Riordan has his leg like half out of the circle right now.
It's gone.
Ah! I splashed myself.
This is why Geralt hates teleportation.
So you crush the ring,
Oh
and
yeah.
from it comes a well of misty stuff. A different purple though, more like a violet purple.
Probably good.
As it come out and just spreads everywhere. You can't see anything, and as you reach out your hands perhaps to touch someone just instinctively, there's no one else there. As you're all separated, have a weird whoosh feeling, and then you are in another place. The first thing you notice is that under your feet you can sort of hear the crack. A lot of you heavy, standing upon very porous rock, almost as if it's full of tiny holes that have been dug through it over and over again. The crack of all of you landing there, almost as you drop sort of your foot out of the air to crack onto it. You land with your hands down, it's brittle, and you sort of sink down a little bit into the ground, letting out a strange sort of tremor as the cracks almost echoes through the porous cave system. It reminds you a lot of the brittle swells where you traveled once, except here it is tougher and sort of a lot more of it. It is not collapsing as the brittle swells are, though perhaps in a few centuries it will be.
Definitely in the worm writhings then.
I'll just move Muncher off the map, because, well, actually, let's just put him over here in the corner, because you don't know where you are.
Hopefully not over there, that would be awkward.
I'm guessing here.
The tremor
Nice.
followed by another tremor. But this one not made from you. It's made from something else. Almost as a response.
Purple worm.
No.
The room is completely black where you are. There's no light. No real mist either. Though there certainly is a purple suffusion through the whole place. Can't really help but breathe it through it. As there's really no escaping it. It is not the thick variety you've seen before, but I'll certainly suggest that this place is thoroughly infused with it.
Not unexpected.
But
If there were more, this teleportation might have thrown you away into some distant cave with no exit. It is certainly known to be an effect of the purple mist. Teleportation goes wrong.
Yeah, given how dark it is and wanting to give everyone like an opportunity to be able to like gain their bearings, you know, caravan members and Riordan included.
yes, thank you.
Roland will draw an ignite Dawnbringer into his left hand.
Yeah. The light sort of bright sort of shines out, and you hear like weird scurrying sounds as tiny creatures who might have crawled out of their holes quickly draw back into them. Very much as if you imagine like eels in a seabed, sort of withdrawing at something scaring them.
Let's not antagonize the locals too much quite yet.
Roland will
Hear
turn
another
like
one of the distant tremoring things, and then the sound of breaking, as if someone has taken a very, very stale loaf of bread and is just cracking it into pieces.
Yeah, purple worms are blind, aren't they? I don't think light.
What do we know
bothers
about
them.
purple worms?
Do you know anything about purple worms?
I don't know. Do we?
I don't know.
Do you?
What would
Let's
the
find
check
out.
be?
Yeah, let's find out.
I'm imagining nature.
Yeah, nature.
Wow, alright, good luck. Oh,
Coming right up.
guidance!
I will accept your guidance.
It's a cantrip, why not?
I imagine like Cyril asked like, what purple
You
worms?
know
Like,
about pearl worms? Let me pray first before you answer.
No, it's
I imagine,
she literally says a
as
couple
she's
words.
asking the question, she's patting me on the back of the spell.
Yeah, exactly.
Help you remember.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Roll with that.
Well,
They
So,
are
not great.
worms
So,
and they are purple.
Malachi, I have a suggestion. Considering that Gesh has known about purple worms being in the worm writhings for, like, at least since before we went to which city did we go to? Neverwinter?
Many.
City of Flame?
Neverwinter?
Deep?
Neverwinter. We
Neverwinter.
didn't go to Waterdeep.
What was the
It's
city?
it's Neverwinter
Or Gauntlgrim.
and Gauntlgrim.
Neverwinter. Okay.
It's
there we go.
Neverwinter because there is Neverwinter in Neverwinter.
Gesh probably would have tried to look up a thing or two about purple worms. So could I maybe try to negotiate an untrained nature check here?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, if you retroactively asked your brother for help, you could have advantage on that.
You know what? Sure. Gash's relationship with his brother wasn't too terrible during the visit. Like he gave him a thing.
He made up a bit.
Might as well make
He's
use of his
trying.
knowledge.
Gesh's brother is trying to connect with his real brother.
I rolled an 8.
Oh.
But apparently whatever he said, Gesh was too absorbed with the cool new thing he got.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Maybe his brother just explained it in a way that, I mean,
It was so just so aloof the way he explained it. Oh gosh, they are
so,
purple
I mean, who knows
worms.
that
That
means,
they are
right? I
worms.
mean, they're probably really bad. So, what you do know about pearl worms is that they are big enough that they burrow, break, and make many of the tunnels in the Underdark. They make travel here possible. They don't just eat rock; they eat anything, and they like, moist, delicious people most.
How about we simply try to move very quickly?
People say they're gargantuan, absolutely amazing. Just swallow a bullet.
Oh.
How about we run? How about that?
Well, they would respond to to our movement, right?
How about we move very, very
Carefully.
lightly then? Just anything that involves moving.
In the distance, you can hear a very beautiful singing voice, perhaps sounding like the voice of an elven maiden.
What?
Can I just
That's
start watching singing?
totally a
or-
siren. Oh,
You can hear it. It is a song of heroes long gone, a song of home and a song of safety, a song of warding and protection, a song of things that will last forever.
yep, that's
It
it.
seems to come from the southeast,
That sounds pretty good right now.
echoing through the many caverns. Because this place, as you look around with Dawnbringer's light, has a lot of them. Like a lot. A lot of them are also very big and round. Just dug through everything, completely almost at random.
See, I don't
All
trust.
barren, too.
I don't trust the
For these
singing.
weird other small creatures.
Does Riordan recognize the song, or is it completely new to him?
No, he wouldn't. It's original.
Original. Wow. We'll
Or
see.
perhaps it's very old. Actually, yeah, you do. You're a bard. You get to have a. You get to have
Yeah.
a check. Yeah, give me like some special.
Alright.
He does come from the Bardic College of Law, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That makes sense. He might know a thing.
Would this be? Oh, what check would this be?
History?
I mean, to be honest, I feel like given his background, he should have a pretty good chance of doing it. So, why don't we just roll a d4 on a 1 you don't?
Sure. 2.
That's more interesting anyway. Yeah. Riordan remembers perhaps a different version
Oh.
that has been sung at funerals sometimes. It is a song to ward off evil and to stay the hand of the undead and the darkness that comes for all of us at some point.
That
Yes,
sounds sounds safer.
The song here appears to be using a lot of older words, suggesting that if it is that same song, and the melody certainly is similar, then it would be a very old version, perhaps even the original. Who knows?
Okay. Yeah, whatever's singing that is certainly powerful. That's for sure.
I mean, with
So our two options are we follow the only indication of something interesting being anywhere, or we pick a cavern at random. Or option 3, we stay here and get eaten by a huge worm.
Yeah, let's just go.
fuck it, let's go to the singing, presumably horrible death monster.
You begin moving. As you sort of climb the sides of the cave, they sort of brittly like crack and fall a bit. You can hear like scurrying, and sometimes when you like touch like a handhold, like something slimy like touches them. You never see anything in the light though. Whatever's here clearly doesn't like it. Are you trying to be quiet as you move, taking longer time, or are you trying to hurry and not care about sound?
I mean, I think we should like care about sound.
Reese would prefer be. Roland would prefer to be quiet.
Yeah,
Alright.
so would I.
We'll try and be quiet, sure.
You very quickly, as you try that, learn that it seems that whatever is around here doesn't care about the sound at all.
Oh.
Alright.
Then we go
Perhaps
really,
the
really quick.
tremors being what attracts movement.
Hurry then.
Let's go
Run.
quick. Yeah.
It doesn't seem, however, that you're directly targeted by something, because at this point you're pretty sure you would have been eaten.
By now, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Moving fast and quickly though, you sort of has that initial rush to go towards this place. However, as the hours begin to go by without you feeling like you're getting any closer, perhaps you slow down a little bit with a frown and yeah, seems somewhat miffed.
Alright.
Gesh, however, has a thing. A certain crystal, or a piece. And right now, that thing is letting out almost whispers, almost audible people around it. It sounds just like you know that muffled sound of people talking, but you can't make out a single word. It's just like
Yeah.
sound. It also is almost beginning to glow a bit. Though as it does, you can see there's like a big nasty crack in it. The glow sort of leaking a bit. It's not really nice. Beyond that, another indication that you're going somewhat in the right direction is that the mist begins to grow thinner as you go in this direction.
Okay.
No, we're getting somewhere. Keep moving.
Yeah.
You push on.
Push
Oh,
on.
yes.
I mean, I guess we're gonna use the crystal as like a...
Some form of guide. Yeah.
Without it, it certainly could take you a lot of time.
Yeah.
However, after 8 hours of walking,
Ugh.
these tunnels. The tremors disappearing behind you as you move. You see something. Do you all copy your tokens for me?
I will need to go get it.
Very helpful.
I'll grab Liam as well. Why not? Copy.
Wait, actually, I'll copy fingerprint as well. It's important.
Yep, I got mine. Copied.
As you move further. Is player visible?
Yes.
Actually, I will need something to reveal that you can Fog of War reveal. That work? Please? I don't think it does. You need a token to see. Who can I just grab?
Liam. Get
I just grab Liam.
Mhm.
Dump him. What do you want?
Oh, just grab.
The lake we
Grab
got.
it.
Ooh. There we are.
I don't. Can you center my?
I certainly can.
Thank you. Yes, I see.
Finger punches in the wall.
Oh god, the teleportation problem.
By
Fine.
rules, he goes back to the
As
source of
you move
teleportation.
around the corner, you see, perhaps with a bit of a stunned stop, what is making this hauntingly beautiful singing just like Cyril would swear this is better than some stuff she's heard in Silver Moon. That's pretty amazing.
Oh my damn.
It is a pretty big deal that this creature even can sing. As you look forward, you see a many-legged reptile stretching out on what seems to have been sort of a soft little spud it has made in the sort of brittle stone after sitting there for clearly a very long time. Whilst it is looking at its own feet, wriggling them slightly, as the singing stops and closes its mouth. About time you lot arrived. Come! The library bid me guard you to the gates, and I've waited too long for you already. It says as it jumps up, still not looking at you.
I
Oh,
mean,
well, I have waited for a long time as well, so I can emphasize. Let's go then.
The
Yeah.
basilisk waggles its long tail rapidly from back and forth. Quickly gets up and begins running.
no.
Run after the basilisk.
Catch the basilisk.
Quickly moving. As quick as a basilisk can, meaning that all of you can follow well enough.
I mean, I can only run 50 feet at a time.
It-
So
I'll carry
it
you.
only runs 40. It's not a fast basilisk, but he seems incredibly excited. You can see the sort of an indentation of his body where he's been.
oh, he's great. Love him.
He's so cute and fluffy.
I don't know about us today.
I want to hug him.
As he runs on all his legs, just thump, 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 thump. You know, he will briefly give his introduction. He says, "You can call me Feldiskar. I help the librarians. Come on, quickly, quickly."
Okay.
He's not really realizing that you're all maybe slowing down a little bit to make sure you follow him.
Do basilisks usually talk?
No.
Oh,
No, I mean, no. They're
Not
usually
common.
really, really stupid.
Yeah, and
Like,
generally try to turn us to stone, and then we have to use their basilisk blood to unstone
he's
you.
looking at his feet all the time.
Yeah, see, he's a nice basilisk. I've still got some blood, though, just in case. I just looked in my gear, and I do have basilisk blood.
He runs. What you get after perhaps 20 minutes of basilisk running is odd. The type of stone changes completely to a more rough, sort of hewn one, and not subtly either. It is a change from one step to the other, and then there's just tough basalt stone. What you see there, it's almost like a little like rounded, clearly perhaps a massive geode, size of a city perhaps. Though you can of course only see a bit of it, given that the rest is embedded in stone around it. A pair of massive doors are here. They're marked with some sort of indentation, though it's edged and sort of cut a little bit so you can't see it. The rushing of water is as somehow water seems to be running from the ceiling in a little waterfall that pools around the entrance. Fires are lit, brightly burning, revealing the whole cave entrance to this place very nicely. And next to the door is also two huge stone guardians, standing motionless, watching you. As you move, their heads seem to follow you, though you never see them move, even when looking directly at them. Walking across this threshold is really like stepping into another realm. The gloom of the Underdark here is replaced by a light and sort of a sense of openness, a bit as if you would be walking through Waterdeep a summer day. The gates are not locked. They appear to be standing slightly open, almost welcoming. in a casual way. Reveal to you a picture. Marvelous place. Basilisk just runs up and in.
Well, gosh, we've made it.
That Stone Guardian is so ripped, it's distracting me.
It's not as
The
buff as
corridor.
Korean Jesus.
The corridor beyond the gates is wide enough for about 10 people to go side by side.
God damn.
The ceiling is taller than the halls of Gauntleborough. The corridor opens into a central well with walkways crossing its span to the opposite sides. You can barely see the ends of the level to your right and left, with doors opening into so many rooms, you doubt you could even explore them all in a single day. The ceiling is bright, with rainbows trapped in hundreds of crystal formations, combining to create a warm and inviting illumination. Looking down is a dizzying experience. Staircases connected to different levels below, and you soon lose count of how far they go down. As you stand here for a moment, staring at the spectacle, a stout rocky creature detaches from the perfectly smooth wall to your left, leaving an imprint of its body on the wall that quickly smooths out and fades in sight. Travelers, I am Horum. The masters are occupied. There are rooms for you. Choose your own. The resources of Graven Hollow are at your disposal. You need only ask.
That is appreciated, thank you. So
The
this
creature doesn't seem particularly interested in talking, but stays around for whatever questions you might have.
So this place is Graven Hollow. Or is it associated with Graven Hollow?
This is Graven Hollow.
What exactly is Graven Hollow?
This is a library where all history that will happen, has happened, and is happening is kept.
And how many people tend to come in here?
It sort of looks at you, says, many now, few before. It looks at all the people you've dragged in here.
Now, perhaps I'm overthinking things, but if this library has all the events that will ever happen in it, doesn't that mean that life is completely determined and none of our free will actually matters?
It turns its head to look at you. It stands to the side and gestures to the library. Enjoy.
Oh, I
The
will.
master could see all of the future. However, Master Ustavar is only interested in the future of giants.
Ah, yes, stone friends. Good friends of mine, I tell you. At least the one that are still alive, I think.
The future is always changing. Any moment can break it. However, there are things that will happen.
Now, when can we speak to that master? I'm sure he's terribly busy, but I think we have some important questions.
Whenever the masters do not work, they lose time. Time that can never be regained. The masters are mortal. They write, study, and create the library because they believe in the value of knowledge. If your words are more important than the value of the knowledge lost while you speak them, they will see you.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gestures down the hallway. Your rooms. Choose one. The library will provide.
Are we free to explore?
Yes, the resources of the library is at your disposal. We have been expecting you.
Ah, yes, because this was an event that had to happen.
The creature nods.
Good.
So, is there like an index or something of how to find like specific information, or is it just we have to walk
Library guide
around?
to
Only the masters know how to find anything.
Oh, that's useful. So potluck, I guess, basically. Probably my biggest fear that I mentioned a couple of sessions ago.
The what now?
You have done much in coming here.
We have
Well.
done much indeed.
This place is your reward. Use it as you will, but damage or take nothing.
No, of course, of course. We'll take nothing other than knowledge, which I think should be shared among everyone, right?
It nods.
Great.
This is a gift from giant kind to all.
And we can make notes, of course. That's fine. But I mean, if we're
It
going,
seems to just stand here waiting more questions. You have no other purpose in life than to answer them.
we might as well start looking
The
then.
vessel is happily running about, so just running in food between bookshelves.
Can
There's a beautiful singing happening again.
can I get a pet basilisk? I like him. He's
You had an
cute.
egg at one point.
I did.
Yeah,
Can I have him? He's cute and he speaks.
I don't think you can just request to have one of the library's guides.
He
He just
said
don't
I.
take anything.
He said that I can ask anything. So I'm
You
asking.
can't take anything.
Yeah, but if he comes willingly,
Perhaps
that
you
taking?
should ask the basilisk rather than asking someone else whether you can take it. It is incredibly rude. Seems
Ah.
to be
What have you
thoroughly
done?
sentient.
I think I'll have a nice conversation with him later. But first, I think we need to start our grand search of documents that we have no way of finding until the masters deem us worthy.
Sure.
Your people certainly hurriedly move to the region that was described as rooms and find that it is full of just empty rooms, with a little tablet on the outside, basically a little blackboard, where you can scratch your name down with some chalk.
That's cute.
After doing it, each person notices that the room has been perfectly furnished to their desires, having food, drink, bath, beds, in whatever style and comfort the person really expected from it, making it so that it gets gradually better with time, effectively. People expect more and more.
Riordan.
Yes.
So yeah, in that case, Roland's is basically as bare basics of a room as you can imagine right now, because that's what he expected.
Man, Cirilla is
Oh boy.
whew.
Warren just stands here in the hallway, just
Oh man.
standing here. If no one talks to him for a while, he goes back to being the wall.
Okay. Enjoy the wall.
You did that.
Ah, man, there's actually no guide to any of this information. This is like my
Ah, but
biggest fear from this place.
I mean, if we have,
Gesh
a deep enough.
feels an intense sense, perhaps, of relief. Almost as if he's had a constant pain for a very, very long time that's no longer there.
that's the relativity for that one thing.
What's that?
Got me.
All right.
Oh,
He also feels that his increased magical age has somehow disappeared.
He's young again.
No, your beard.
No.
This
Oh,
place, from a quick sort of check out, seems to be outside of time.
That's
that means
interesting.
we've got all the time we
world.
need. This is beautiful.
Time to get the pigs in here. We need to start grinding.
Pigs? What?
Grinding. XP.
On pigs.
Yeah. See, have you not watched the South Park episode? Come on, man.
I don't know. No.
They grind. They
it's fine, sheep. Just as lost as you are.
they grind experience on
I get
pigs. Yeah, that Manikai gets it.
It was balls, okay?
They're pigs.
There's a semantic difference.
All right. So, I guess we start researching. I don't know.
I do have a question.
Examples.
Like, does this place look anything like what Gesh saw in his dream way back?
Yes. The place Gesh saw probably wasn't the entry hall or the guest rooms. It's probably further in. Looking down the stairs or up the stairways, it seems that there are rooms here that couldn't possibly fit in the space this place takes up. It appears to not only be outside time, but also outside space somehow, appearing just almost infinitely large. Paths go everywhere, and they all look the same. There are shelves with old books seemingly brought here, but there's also just lots of long hallways where upon the wall there's indentations holding stone tablets, carrying things in a strange language. The library, however, also seems to have been made so you can understand any language while being here,
Oh.
enabling you to read all the strangest scripts in the world. Gash perhaps feels that there's a tension, though. Where he is currently is where he's supposed to be, but there's a lack of fulfillment, a lack of something. He's found the door. He's here. I mean, this is what he dreamed of, but the knowledge isn't coming to him as it was promised. Here he has to research or study it. There must be an easier way, perhaps.
Perhaps. What does Fingermuncher think?
Sacrifice all your friends.
Fingermuncher's pretty excited, really.
Good time.
This is what we're supposed to do, Gish.
Exactly.
Actually did it. I never thought we'd be able to. Curls around, wagging his tail. Now we just need to figure out what we're here to find. His draconic wings are flapping a little bit. Fingermuncher seems incredibly bored with this. Like looking about, it's like, oh, stone tablets, boo-hoo. He doesn't care. That's not interesting. He does like his room though. Has a pile of gold in it, and maybe he considers he would never leave. I mean, if he stayed here forever, he would be huge when he left.
If it's out of time, however, you won't actually grow older, so it will be no gain for you at all.
That's Gash ruins Fingermuncher's day.
Also, I think you mean Cinder.
Cinders, yeah.
I imagine
Fingermuncher
Fingermuncher's
doesn't get his own room.
if he did have his own room, it would be pure black, a void, nothing.
No, I mean, right now, this is what he's very much into. He will also suggest that perhaps these masters, perhaps we have to tell them, is more important than their time. What is a little missed, knowledge somewhere? We just need. I mean, we're here. That's. We've come here all the way, ordained by our master Gesh. We have to go there.
Oh, we won't leave until we get what we came for. That's for sure. However long that's going to take.
47 sessions later.
I finished my book, guys.
We've all got doctorates.
Just rolls.
Yeah.
I mean, if we have the time, we should all be. I clearly need to learn to speak Undercommon.
It might not be that days don't pass outside, but the days that pass outside might not have an effect on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably more like
Does that mean we not get hungry?
it seems so.
That means Trilla can't feed people.
Nope, she will still try and feed you. Because it's beyond your normal limits. So, even though you're not hungry, you should still probably eat.
But I've been stuffed for 4 days.
You should still eat.
I can't stop being stuffed.
Good.
If you take a look around,
Oh, yeah.
you will quickly see that the library seems to have been sort of set up in 3 distinct ways. One is the archives of the past, one is the archive of the present, one is the archive of the future. Each has an inscription. The past reads, "The past is crystal, for it can be seen from many facets, yet it remains the same." The archive of the present reads, "The present is like sand. ever flowing and escaping one's grasp without mercy or rescue. While the future reads, the future is a song we remember but cannot rush to its end, lest we destroy the melody. These 3 halls all lay open to you.
Maybe we should split up.
I know what Cyrilla would want to try and research.
Oh, the future. Let us look at the moment where
Beyond
we stop
that,
the demons and see how we do it.
You also feel that as long as you're in the library, anyone who attempts to detect you magically from anywhere else will be completely unsuccessful.
Oh, great.
That everything here is hidden from knowledge outside.
Nice.
Just you two.
But what about scrying on the inside?
It appears that you can use, like, this is basically separate from the rest of the universe in a big way. It seems that you could use it in here, but, like, you wouldn't affect stuff outside.
You'd only be able to scry stuff inside.
You might be able to detect where the library is from in here. However, that would probably be pointlessly
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. What's your way of doing it? I mean, seemingly they will let you stay here indefinitely if you want.
I mean,
It's a huge place.
Seems like what we really need to do is just make a list of the questions and whatever area they relate to, and then we can research them there.
yeah.
Warm crystalline glow just shining down. You were laying down to rest.
Yeah. The one question that Cyrilla is mostly interested in, she knows that Gesh is trying to work on other bits, is that she knows that that this whole demon invasion thing isn't the first time this has happened, and that means that in the past there must have been a way that they combated the corruption, all of this horrible madness that's infecting the people, and if there was a way that a group managed to stop it at all. Surely, over the very long history, there should be something that would attain to that.
She can certainly begin walking down to the past and looking at tablets,
Yeah?
quickly finding out that there's no systematic organization at all, at least none that she can discern. Finding random things about some farmer who did a thing, or something that happened in some place, probably. But seemingly almost impossible to find anything general. The library, perhaps almost frustratingly, refusing to yield its knowledge without... you could probably find it by reading, but the world might end before you get there. Minutes pass by and more things happen after all, faster than you can read it. The body of knowledge is ever growing.
Perhaps we need some sort of to give something to get, in a sense.
Otherwise, what do we give to an all-knowing library that knows everything?
Well, is this? Sorry, this just reminds me of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, when they to give knowledge to gain access.
Unfortunately, though, that library does not create itself through time and space.
No, it did not.
Can your crystal do anything here, or?
I don't know. I don't think it's just a part of this place. It's not going to hide us anywhere. Does it though, Malachi?
Take that and rubs the crystal.
Yeah.
It does seem to begin to shine brightly and spark, and like almost the cracks in it sort of shining brightly, as if something might happen, but it's clearly broken.
Maybe we could try to find the place where this shop came from in the first place.
All
It
right.
would be interesting to see how it looks like when the library is damaged. It seems to be a highly magical place.
Yeah, sure. Let's find that.
You begin walking about, perhaps looking or remembering or looking through the shard even to try to. But however, as you walk around with it, one of the, and now you see that there are many of them. One of the herms moves over and just nonchalantly goes to take it out of Gesh's hand.
Wait, what? Who does?
One of the stone people.
I would like to keep that. It was a gift of a very good friend. I will give it back eventually, but right now it's a nice keepsake to remember him by. It was a giant one.
It is broken.
Can you fix it and then give it back to me?
No.
Can you fix it?
Looks at you. It will be taken care of.
Who can fix it?
So the library fixes it. The creators will it. This is a stone speaker crystal given to the stone speakers of the giant civilization. You should not have it.
It was given to me as a gift by the Stone Speaker.
It looks at you, attempting to comprehend the words. It will be shown to the masters. Prepare yourselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Randomly got herself an audience.
We just like look around like, what are we preparing for exactly?
Righteous fury.
Oh! If you follow the creature,
I mean, sure. It's got our stone. I mean, it's got
Well,
our
it does
stone.
seem to. If Gesh doesn't, it looks back and sort of looks at him. I don't think Gesh gave it to it,
No,
but it insists that he comes at least.
All right, sure.
All right, we're going. I'm going. Come on.
Go.
Not being left behind. God damn.
It brings you forward, and you almost feel a little bit of a groan in the library as it does, as if things are settling in a different manner. Perhaps this place can even move itself about slightly. Who knows? It takes you to what appears to be a big, quiet room, massive in scale, cut out of stone, and fairly bare, really, except for the glowing lights from above that illuminate it. Everything here appears very still, quiet, just a little bit unsettling, perhaps. As if you're walking in a place that is sort of not supposed to have people walk in it. The quiet of a library, though it feels like your footsteps are so very loud as they disturb everything. You move on through this room and into another similar, but larger. Here, however, you are not alone, though the other people in this room are impossibly quiet. They appear to be massive, grey-toned stone giants, wearing long, ancient clothes, togas, perhaps even, or a similar style to. Their frowns say it all. They stand here patiently, waiting.
Hello.
Take you, put you over here. Oh, did Riordan and Liam not want to go?
Oh yes. No, we're going.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, they're very big.
You see the three of them here at you.
They are very big.
They are giants.
Are these the masters then?
Yes,
Good.
these are the masters. The creature looks to you, gestures to them. Master Ulthar, Urmas, and Ustavar. These are guests. They bring a broken crystal. They lie and say they have received it from a speaker.
Oh, it is not a lie at all. We've
Steps
received
back.
it from the speaker who resided in the City of Blades. We did him a favor, more specifically his friend, the king of the City of Blades, was under the control of a succubus who we, while putting ourselves in massive danger, managed to expose and exterminate.
The central one holds up a hand. Enough. You speak, and I know. This is the truth. You received this, however, it is no longer functional.
Yes, well, if you would like to fix it, I would appreciate that. Although I have to admit, I'm not entirely sure what it does.
Deliver it to our servant, and you shall receive a new one. Stone speaker Hagram was a good speaker.
That he was. Now, I've been told that you could lead us to places in the library where things we would wish to know are stored, correct?
The middle one frowns us. There is no time. Knowledge is lost. Hand the crystal to our worker, and you shall receive a new one to explore the library.
I'm guessing the crystal does
Yeah, it's
the guiding for us.
like an assistant.
All right. Then we shall not waste your time any longer.
The one to the left. Says, now, if you wish to speak of history, I shall be available to you. The past moves nowhere. It is simply the conversion of the future and the current.
Oh. So we're all, like, kind of put up a hand, I guess? Like, yeah, I would love that. I guess she goes over to him.
The center one nods as you hand over the crystal, and then he leaves,
Okay, bye.
taking large, quick, and quiet steps through the halls. Which it disappears with the crystal. The one to the right speaks. Much is happening. You seek answers. You will find them here. This will help you. This will help all of them. You are free to use the library. We shall explain to you how.
Okay.
Now, that is great and all, but what are the limits of the library? What can't we do here?
I presume burn it all to
You
the
can
ground.
damage nothing. You
Yes,
can
but
kill no one.
that's not what I mean. If the future has defined points and we can read about all of them, that is very, very powerful, right? But there must be many, many future moments then that we cannot see, correct?
The future is all potential. Anything can be changed. That is the purpose of this place. It exists entirely safe because no future is allowed to come to pass that puts it in danger.
Oh.
I see.
So when he says you can't do this, it means you actually just can't. Because
So
yeah,
that means we've been allowed in here because you know for a fact that we could do nothing to endanger this place.
Yes, your power is far insufficient.
Okay.
All right.
Now, once we have that crystal, we can find things we are looking for.
This place remembers. You are all here now forever. So are everyone else who has ever walked its halls.
Ah,
I believe it's a metaphor.
Plus,
The
no
crystal
time.
allows you to enter rooms and remember the times when it was written. You will not have to read, not have to apply yourselves, as the visions of this place will be bared to you. It is a way of interacting with this place that is not given to your kind. However, given the potential futures, it is deemed necessary.
Okay.
The left one speaks. In the past, only our kind walked the library. However, there was no future where our empire would last. We now resist the death of our kind as it occurs slowly. That is the purpose of this place. You are all allowed here, because you knowing is better than you not know. The library opens itself to those we allow inside. We have chosen you, just as we have allowed others who do not respect it or understand its use inside, because it serves the purpose.
How long will it take to repair that shard?
It is already done.
Well, that was
We
quick.
have placed it within the library once more, mending the tear from whence it was taken. Another been made and brought to you, though it should not be removed from this place.
That's fine. Don't think we'll need it anymore till we leave.
Once you leave, the library will always invite you back. Having earned your ability to stay here once, you will have earned it forever. You are, in being here, in following your pursuits, serving our pursuits. The library's gift to you is your reward.
I'm sure I am. That is quite amazing, really. And to think that some people about, I don't know, a year or so ago would have called me crazy for knowing about this place. Did call me crazy, in fact.
The left one nods. Those words exactly.
Jury's
I
still
might-
out.
I might have called you crazy if I remember.
we're all crazy, I think.
Well, but at least in this case, we weren't crazy. The other things, well, can't avoid it really,
Yeah.
considering the demons everywhere.
Speaking of which, to find out where they are.
The right one. The demonic influences are strong. I have made it so you can find them.
Yes.
The way you navigate this place is easy. Simply desire to find something while in possession of the crystal, and you will find it. Rather, it will find you.
All right.
I mean, I think we could do some good here.
Just get started.
Agree? Stop pussyfooting around.
Giants, look at you, as the right one says. I shall return to the prophecies. Disturb me not. She walks. While the left one says, the past is still converted. I have time should you require more.
All right.
He has all the time in the world.
Yeah.
They never have time, and their time's always fleeting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think Cyrilla's just gonna ask, like, talk to the horse's mouth of knowledge, basically.
Yeah.
No
Well,
point
then,
looking for a book when he's here. He's documented a bunch of it. Knows all of it, presumably.
He'll gesture for you to go and explore the library. To your leisure.
I'm talking to Giant Man. Yeah.
Oh.
Same thing as before, basically.
You have been here before, many times, because you were always here. Just as every visitor to the library is always here and has always been here. You will meet others. They might know you or they might not. Do not be afraid, for they cannot hurt you here. Neither can you hurt them. Your time is not the same.
So if everyone is always here, including ourselves, can we find ourselves?
You are yourselves.
I suppose.
My mind is blown.
didn't even need to cast a spell for that one.
It's true.
So, one more question. Let's say, hypothetically, I wanted to prove that I've been in this magical, mystical place to someone who didn't even know it existed in the first place. What would be the best way to do that?
I think we got bigger fish to fry.
For such a thing.
Can you bring back lottery numbers?
The knowledge stored within here will make you the wisest being in the world if you dedicate enough time to studying it. That by itself is worth more than proof.
Yeah, gosh, you uncultured swine.
Yes.
I suppose that's good enough.
Good enough.
As you explore it, remember that this was made by the Stonekeepers, that we still maintain it, and that we make it available for all. Respect our kind when you find us. We are few, and we are dying out. Should that come to pass, the library's purpose will have failed, and there will be no purpose for it to continue its existence. The stone speakers are fewer and fewer every cycle.
Very profound stuff. Can we take a look at this library then?
I think so.
Yes.
Alright, you can leave the room.
Cool.
Well, he seemingly does indeed have a lot of time to talk. That's
Yeah.
profound. Entering back out into the library, you find it as you left it, really. Though, with the new crystal being delivered
Yeah.
by the creature, vaguely stepping up with it, a bright new one, shiny, without any blemishes or anything, and humming with the power of this place. Hands it over to Gash, bowing, though almost reluctantly, the stone speaker crystal traditionally reserved for stone speakers.
Right. Well, I have a very urgent and prominent question to ask of the present with that thing.
How about we ask how to stop the demons first, just in case?
That was my question. Yes.
I wouldn't
But
ask the
rather,
present, though. I would ask the future.
well, first we need to know who they are and where they are right now,
Yeah, learning the present of where they currently are would be a good start.
and how many of them are here. We might not have seen them all yet.
Once we
Heard of them.
because getting rid of each one might not be one big thing we can do at once. We might have to learn how to do it for each one individually. Unless we know how many we have to get rid of, it might be hard.
And once we get out of here, knowing where they are is helpful at the current point of time. At least area-wise.
All right.
So what do you attempt to search for? More so topics than questions, perhaps.
Demon lords invading the Underdark.
Currently.
You can walk through halls and find, indeed, there are many places that have such things.
So we're looking for currently
Many
the present.
different rooms, perhaps many different demons.
But we're looking for anything in the present on this topic. So
Yeah. Well, I guess.
I mean, if there's many different demons in many different rooms, we have to visit all of them.
Sure. I guess we could. I don't know if we're allowed to split up though, because I'm assuming it's the one.
I think we need the crystal with us. So
Yeah. So.
And it's not leaving Gash's head.
but I'm just saying. I think we're all sitting down for group similar.
All right. Group. Quick fire round. Group. Lecture on demons in the Underdark.
Wait, pick a demon.
How many are there?
Yeah, how many are there in the first place? That's a good question.
Well, you will notice that there are oh,
39.
A million. Ah.
currently appears 8 rooms.
Okay.
So
All right.
we've got
Demogorgon.
Demogorgon,
As
Orcus.
you
We
think
picked the eighth.
the name,
Yes.
shudder and fall backwards into nothingness, a vision of some sort. You see Koa-Toa swimming in the gloomy depth of the dark subterranean lake, uncertain. The Koa-Toa turns left, right, trying to find something, even as it's surrounded by fanged creatures resembling manta rays. The Koa-Toa smiles, its needle teeth gleaming even in the darkness. It has seen it. It understands a new secret, and its already unhinged mind plunges further into madness. It curls in on itself, arms extended in worship. Then from a circle of rays, 2 tentacles emerge, followed by a howling baboon head. The manta ray creatures, having called their master. Then you stumble back and are on the floor once more.
All right. Well, Jublex is the next. At the very least.
You look around for Jubileus things, and as you see a tablet suddenly again, the speaker's crystal takes you and brings you to a new place. You see a deep gnome, spurned by the others, weeping as he wanders the dark tunnels alone, talking to the things, the only things that listen, the little drops of slime that crawl and seep from the walls. You see him adopt 2 slick patches of ooze, almost petting them though they burn his hand. They do not shy away from him like others. You see him move them, almost as if he's tamed them, something that seems impossible. He's older now, playing with them, as if they were children, chasing them through the gloomy depths. He's smiling, a sad smile. These are the only children he will ever have, he knows. Something has changed, though. The oozes flow away. The deep gnome runs after them, fearful of being left alone again. You feel a great hunger seize him. He experiences visions of the past. They pass into your vision. He sees what appears to be a paradise to him. For you, it is an oozing nightmare. The great hunger speaks to him. He's already broken mind, a shield against the hunger-shattering power. That power seems to recognize and acknowledge something in the gnome that will serve it well. The great hunger has a name, Jubilix. Its power, a great and terrible thing. It grants the gnome the ability to command the little hungers, his children, so that they can return to a place that cast them out, devour them all.
Wow.
All right. How about the mushroom
The Queen of Rot.
queen of rot? Yeah.
Zoot moi.
Yes.
You see someone else walk into the room just as you fall into the vision. A cavern of peculiar beauty opens up before you, with lights of every color shining from the pure essences of life, diffused and amplified by the glow of Fair's res. The globe pulses, and you can feel the life in the cavern rotting away, bursting with infection. A mushroom grows in the center of the cave, even larger and taller, pustules forming and seeping as its stem thickens and its cap reaches to the cavern's ceiling, forming a vast fungal tower. Two myconids approach the site in awe, not minding the carpet of rot under their feet. You sense their minds come alive in wonder as they kneel in worship. You know their doom. A voice sounds within clouds of spores that fall like snow. The voice tells the myconids to prepare for a gift unlike any they have ever known. You recognize, having been to the Neverlight Grove, that one of these myconids is the sovereign known as Philo. The other appears to be the creature that once was a myconid, but when you saw him had turned into some sort of worm. Perhaps the future of the race.
Mm-mm.
Right. Bad stuff. There was one
What
more
else do we know about sheep?
that I can remember.
We know about Orcus.
Yes.
Land of undead we go, I suppose.
Yes. You see an alien cavern glistening with slime. Scores of mind flayers gather around an enormous brain resting in a pool. It is dead gray. You hear the illithid's incomprehensible thoughts as they mourn its passing. One word echoes louder than the others, though. Singular. Xyrok. Suddenly, purple mist bathes the dark and twisted hall in purplish light. A rift opens, and a hulking horned figure that reeks of putrescence steps out. It raises a skull-tipped wand and points it at the dead elder brain. The brain begins to pulsate, and you see intermittent flashes of purple light under its rotting flesh. The mind flayers are aghast as the elder brain speaks to them once more, telling them that Orcus has saved Cyrok, and commanding them to follow it into undeath.
All right.
Great. Orcus and an army of mind flayers.
Okay, so
There
what was
is.
the name of the Queen of Rot again? Could you spell that for me, Malachi?
I can, yes.
So let me go into the vision again.
No, stop.
Seen this already, Skip?
Um, Dark.
Yes.
When Ronan was infected with the were hyena,
Mm-hmm.
what was the name of the demonic presence that was affecting him?
I believe, Manic can confirm this, I believe it was this.
Yinogu.
Yep, Yinogu.
What do we got for him?
That was over here, wasn't it?
You once again fall into vision. A hunched and rotting creature with the head of a fiendish hyena swings a triple-headed flail at a beholder, crushing it instantly. As the eye tyrant falls to the floor, a pack of hyenas leap onto the corpse and tear off their eye stalks, while the demon lord licks the gore off his weapon. As the hyenas feed, you see them transform before you, turning into massive, monstrous gnolls before your eyes. The ritual of blood completed.
Ugh.
Okay.
So, how many is that so far that we got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. We're missing
6
3.
ones is the succubus.
Oh,
Actually, I miscounted. 2, 4, no 5. Then we've got the succubus.
is the succubus a demon lord?
No, not the succubus, but she followed the demon lord
Oh,
for
she
sure.
follows the demon. Yeah.
I don't know the name though. I don't know if we ever heard the name.
Is there a way to find out
You
about
could
the
do a
succubus
check.
itself?
Certainly, yeah. That'd be like a religion.
Let's
Sir,
give it a
sir,
go. You know
guidance
what?
yourself.
I'll guidance myself just in
Yeah,
case.
have some inspiration as well. You need all of you
Okay,
to
alright.
figure this out.
You press the button and then I'll... Yep, definitely need it. So let's see. Okay, 11. That's going well. Where's the button?
It's somewhere around here.
It's underneath end
Here.
concentration. 11 plus 5, 16.
16. It's alright. It's alright.
Okay.
It could be a lot better, but
16? She probably just knows the name. There is a demon that is known as the Lord of Succubi. The Dark Prince, as it were. Grast be his name.
Oh, yes. Alright. What's he doing lately?
As you sort of do that, you don't really fall into a vision as much as your surroundings blur. And then you appear. There's someone here with you, reading a book.
Oh.
hey,
A demon.
hot demon.
About 3 times the height of a man. Beautifully sculpted, dark ebon skin, perfect features, impossibly attractive. He might not be your type, demon, 4 or 5 meters tall. However, it is hard not to look. Wearing little but some leather armor, and the muscle covers his entire body, the creature looks to you, and with a bit of a surprised smile says, "Oh, you."
What's he speaking in?
It doesn't matter. This place makes you understand it. He puts the book down and takes in the spectacle of you.
Seems rude, but alright.
Well, demon in this place is certainly a reassuring sight. What exactly are you up to?
He says, "I am attempting to learn more of my opponent's plans. I did not expect to meet anyone like you here, though perhaps that was foolish given the others I have already met."
Your opponents being the other demon princes, obviously, who we are trying to learn the same things about.
No wonder we meet one another then. Perhaps you already know my name. I
Oh, we
think
do.
I know yours well enough.
I seem to also remember to have foiled a rather significant, most likely significant part of your plan to conquer the world, so that pleases me.
One out of many.
Ah, yes, sure.
My
That's what they'll
rule
say.
is less chaotic than the others, would you not agree? If you were to pick one, Miles, you would go with me.
If I had to pick one of you, I'd shoot myself.
and you would feel great doing it.
Absolutely.
And as such, it would be a prayer. Just smiles. Is it not a strange place to meet?
It's the only place where it makes sense to meet.
Knowing that in any other place, that you'd be falling to your knees, begging me for some absolution, but here, reaches out his long hand, beautifully sculpted. I cannot even touch you.
At least you can rest easy, knowing that we are in one of the few places where we can actually be a threat to you.
Maslow says, no, there's nothing about me here. That much has become obvious.
Why
Perhaps me
would that
entering
be?
this place has changed something, but you will find none of my plan. Then again, you already ruined them, didn't you?
Well, you did say it was just one of many.
Shrugs. I am a mud. Now, I am someone, and I rather don't believe we have had the best meeting. Unless you particularly wish to change your behavior, I see little reason to stay chat. One question. Where are you from?
Why does that matter?
Your appearance is not that of the creatures here. I am merely curious if the surface has gotten involved yet.
Well, perhaps we could answer that question if you gave us something interesting in return.
I have many blessings I could cast upon you, though
I'm
sadly
talking
not
about
within this place.
information. Something we couldn't find in this place, but something that you surely know.
Ask then, little one.
All right. What are you up to?
It is really rather simple. I'm attempting to find a way in which the City of Blades could once again be mine. You ruined my last attempt, took it away from me. I have gone south because one of my supporters you spared. With him, I am constructing a new force. The demons here create many refugees. Beyond that, they create a demand for mercenaries. All those come from the Southern Road. The Southern Road is something I control. It is not grand yet, but the City of Blades has prepared itself for war and has no enemy. It will break and fall, and I will be there to pick up the pieces. Now you,
Oh,
tell me,
I think
where
I'm
are
good.
you all
Thanks.
from?
I'm good, thanks. But thanks for the information.
Hmm.
I suppose I shall have to read it. The demon turns and picks up a book.
He would have done that anyways.
You know, maybe if we're lucky, he'll just stay here for like all of eternity reading and never actually come out.
I don't think that's likely.
Also, apparently this demon has an AC of 9 and a speed of 30 feet. Good to know.
Well, in this place, yes, but who knows?
Oh, Grass is on there. Who were the what are they? Hobgoblins following? Were they following a demon? I think they were. You were told the name too.
Were we?
Pretty sure.
Oh, oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We're missing 2. Let me think.
I mean, on the map, metagamey, I oh wait, the dots mean terrain, not influence, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
You can mark it on influence though if you want to.
All right.
Yeah.
I have my own.
Let's
I
have let's
just put down names.
let's have
Yeah. Let's.
a list though of who we got so far.
We've got Orcus, Zictomoy, Yinugu, Jublax, Demogorgon, Grast.
So we're missing 2.
2.
It's got.
If you remember what it's about, then maybe we can get another religion check to figure out its name.
I just remember a title, and I don't know if it's like one of the same that we've.
Throw it out
found.
there, man.
The Prince of Beasts.
No, that's
Four.
Yinugu.
Once again.
4.
Yeah, I think it's a different one.
Yeah, because I had the beast of something else before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying the title of Bahamut, the Horned King. A smell of blood first fills your nostrils as you wander through what appears to be a maze of underdark tunnels. You move with purpose, your giant hooves crushing stone and foot alike. The mist is everywhere, and you can see from its light that your shadow is huge, monstrous, demonic, a hulking beast with a crown of horns. While with your bloody glaive you carve a swath of forest towering circwood mushrooms that stands in your way, the tunnels beyond would confuse an ordinary mind, but you instinctively know the path you must walk. Every step brings you closer to a magma-filled chasm, notched in which is an enormous contraption of metal and stone, a weapon capable of reshaping the Underdark itself.
Oh dear. Lots of that stuff fascinating.
Yeah, the title of the one that was affecting me before was this, to my knowledge.
Decent much.
Yeah, it's different.
So we're missing 1. But I don't think I've ever. I just don't think
We
we've
might
heard
not have encountered it.
No.
Because we've done the one who was king of slime before. That was the devouring human.
Yeah.
Got Orcus, some demigod, some Phoenix Rock, beasts.
Who are the drow worshipping? Like, what were we supposed to be sacrificed for in the very beginning?
Oh yeah.
That's a good point.
As you sort of discuss, or perhaps, I mean, yeah, I suppose you are discussing it
Mhm.
Yes.
with one another, having only one crystal. Someone walks past and looks at you through the door. Mind flare, of sort. Telepathically, it asked, "Excuse me. I understood that Zyrok came up."
He did, in fact. It appears he is under the control of the demon prince Orcus.
That is impossible. Zyrok is dying. I am here to find a way to cure him.
But you see, Orcus is the demon prince of undeath, so something dying doesn't really stop it from being brought back in undeath.
Looks at you.
So I'm afraid you are a bit too late to save him from dying, but that does not mean that bringing him back is impossible, and if you find out anything, that would be in our interest as well. So we'll foil Orcus's plans, I assume.
He looks at you. He's out to touch Gesh. The hand. Its hand sort of moving through him. Though it feels weird, like almost like it's still sort of substantial. He steps back. What you speak of has never occurred before. That means you must be from the future.
It seems that way.
Maybe he's
I
in
am
the
then
future.
destined to fail.
Perhaps you are destined to give us the clue we need to
Tentacles
undo what has
slip
happened.
inside its mouth.
Don't eat yourself.
Where will you be when you leave this place?
Quite frankly, I don't think we know. Yet. Do you have a suggestion?
Yes. When you leave, travel north for 3 days and set your camp there so that I may find you.
Of course, you will remember this encounter in the past and will meet us there in the present.
In the future,
In your future, in our
your
present.
knowledge shall perhaps help me.
Alright.
I am Zetzibor.
Perhaps we could ask him the word possibly forgetting. Just don't know if.
I don't think he'd know.
When are you?
Does he like want the date? I mean, I guess with that.
Yeah.
The date.
The
Yeah.
year.
The
is-
year.
I mean, Roland's been keeping meticulous journal. He gives like the date.
Alright, well then give him the exact day.
So
Yeah.
it turns and walks away.
Well, this place is very handy.
Yeah, pretty much.
How about who getting sacrificed? Leviticus?
Yeah, how about we ask the library that question? Who were we getting
When
sacrificed?
were we getting sacrificed to Loth, or was it someone else?
If you say that name, a terrible feeling comes over as you're ripped from reality and into the abyss. You see the infinite layers in their magnitude. In any other place, your mind would be ripped apart by just the idea that this exists. However, you see them all empty. Here you behold now the true form of the demon queen of spiders. A black, bloated arachnid with the head of a female drow. Nestled in the webs all around her are thousands upon thousands of massive grey slimy eggs. Lolth knows she's being scryed upon as she looks at you. Her fury is tangible in your mind as she reaches out to find you. A shriek echoes through the entire abyss, shattering it slightly, as she's shot out by the powerful wards of Gravenhollow. But the scream echoes in your mind as your vision is torn away, the connection broken. You understand, strangely, what you saw. Enough eggs that when they hatch, they will populate the entirety of the abyss. The Loth existence alone.
Uh-oh. Oh, good.
That sucks.
Did Lolth kick out the other demons to make space for her babies?
If she did,
We're doomed.
I mean, it would sound like Loth is trying to go for like full ascension here. That's terrifying.
Because if she did, we might be able to gather the other demons and just send them back, promising them that they can fully defeat Lolth and take back a place in the abyss.
Yeah, I think.
Although,
I think.
on the other hand, they might just like our place much more than the
I
abyss.
mean, we have a lot of mortals around which they can feed on.
I think the main part of trying to kill them is letting them kill each other first. So maybe if we have found all we have in the present, maybe we can look to the future and see if we can. How can we make conflict between them so that they fight amongst themselves rather than us?
Notice that another person is in your circle. A drow whose eyes are milky white. A male standing here, holding onto the wall with one hand, perhaps afraid of falling if he doesn't. Smiling at your words. A beautiful sound, the scream of the demon queen. Pray tell, you would not happen to have the stone speaker crystal, would you?
Yes, but you can't have it.
Back a little bit. I am blind. I cannot find what I'm looking for without one.
What are you looking for?
I require aid. Gesh recognizes.
Yeah, I do.
In this place all knowledge is kept. I must find something. Weapon. A way to get a weapon. A way to cure my eyes. A way to get revenge.
Against who exactly? You
House
do
of
understand.
They took everything from me. I must have my revenge against them.
don't think I know who that house is, and
You
quite
can roll a
honestly,
history check if you want.
Bjorn, who's that house?
Oh,
Lame
okay.
Paul.
Advantage.
Do we care?
Hey, you know, it's history. We don't get much of that. I can check for you if you want.
Yes, please do.
Okay. Try to check for you.
Oh, Riordan just manages to know.
Oh, good.
That House Oblodra was a major drow house that about 100 years ago was wiped out to the last member. What was known as a bloody magical vendetta of terror. One of the greatest mages that the drow would know in centuries, apparently having gained power from somewhere, came down upon them with a terrible vengeance centuries old and ripped them out of existence almost.
Yes. Actually, I think I've seen you. You're blind because you got blinded, I assume.
Not? Yes. Yes, will you help me? Give me the crystal. I have waited for so long.
I will not give you the crystal, but if you tell me what you're looking for, I think I will help you.
I will need it. It and time. Reaches out his hand. Just let me touch it. Stumbles forward, reaching for Gash, where his voice is.
She will sort
And he
of
passes
hold.
it to him
Oh,
and sighs.
what? Do you know what day it is where you are currently?
No,
Year, perhaps?
I've been here, reading, studying it. I can only touch the tablets and feel the indentations. My hatred continues. So it turns and vaguely tries to locate Gesh when Gesh does the same thing. You are not with me. You are more shadows.
Are we in the past then, or are you?
does not matter.
I sort of think it does, actually. Do you know?
There's no way to tell. What I can tell you is I am Jelithane of Blora, and that I will kill my house for what they did. It is only a matter of time, and I live forever here.
Oh, you are off House of Ledra. Right. Well, that's interesting. But I guess we can't help you.
You
Terrible
know of my
consequence.
house.
I personally don't, but my friend is very versed in all manner of drow houses, and your name came up at some point.
Please. Sort of gestures around, stepping through Gash again. Very uncomfortable manner. Do you know? Tell me. Tell me what you know.
Well, you just keep searching. I'm sure you'll be.
No, don't go, please. Please.
Now, alright, let's say I somehow find a way to help you. What does that do for me?
I will remember your voice. Should we meet? I do not intend to die, although
How do you feel about demons?
looks over at you, again vaguely in your direction. Demons. They don't matter to me.
Now, let's say hypothetically that at some point demons become a real problem. Could you be an ally, do you think?
Once I have done what I have done, I will have no master, and I will transform Drow society. The matriarchy will be done. Things will change. You can benefit from it. Your houses, I'm sure, can be given much in exchange for your aid.
As far as I'm concerned, my house already has plenty of things. How exactly do you intend to transform all of Drow kind? I mean, deleting an entire house is one thing, but that seems to be a much bigger project.
With death and flame. They dominated power. They can be dominated with more. This
Power.
place holds the potential. And I have the time. I grow ever more wary.
What
I
are you
feel-
looking for, though? You're not just wandering through the library looking for a weapon, are you? You have something specific in mind.
Lingers a bit. No. That I cannot tell you. For you might claim it from me.
Well, tell me this much then. Does it involve demons in any way? Or the Abyss?
I have said enough. You have given me nothing.
What I can give you sort of depends on your answer here.
It begins again, touching along the wall.
Alright then. We'll sort of wait for him to leave a bit.
Well, he basically, as soon as he leaves, he's gone.
Alright. He'll turn to the others and say, "So, I believe we've just uncovered something very important. I know for a fact that House Oblodra is in fact completely gone, which means that this fella here was successful, which also means that he was most likely successful in staying alive. However, I do not believe he was yet successful in transforming Drow society, but anything, as far as I can tell, that involves transforming Drow society probably involves demons. Maybe. I don't know. Either way, he seems to be rather important.
Yes. And we didn't help him.
I mean, had we helped him, well, it wouldn't have made a difference because he wasn't that successful.
But the fact that he was successful means that if we had helped him, then that's a fact that he knows. But it's no matter. We have other things to think about.
I'm not entirely sure how this whole time thing works here anyways. Maybe he was successful because we considered helping him, and one of our many different past or futures will in fact help him. We don't know it. Quite frankly though, I would rather not risk giving the person who might have kicked this all off the aid he needed to kick it all off in the first place.
Fair point. Alright, well,
Now, there's one thing though. If he was already successful, that means his actions are in the past, and we can easily look up events from the past, right?
yes.
So let's just see what this guy is all about by looking him up in the enormous library we're sending.
What did this guy do?
Sure. You go searching.
Yeah. Look him up in the yellow pages.
Huh.
Hello, Jonas, we're in the library.
Oh
Where
my
are you?
god.
You see, as you walk around searching many halls, long life perhaps. As you enter, you see the many battles that this character was in. You see him wearing a black robe, walking with minions, all male drow, other rogues, mages, striking down priestesses of Lolth, driders, burning them to cinders with arcane fire and lightning.
Ooh, yes.
You see a house die, and you see ambitions grow. Anger, frustration, eyes healed. However, hubris, in the end, ended this man's career. Challenging the demon queen of spiders is always foolish. A fight you can never win. That much is seen in his. He is dead 100 years ago. Hundreds, even.
Oh,
Well, I guess had we helped him, he wouldn't have been successful either.
Well, you
yes.
didn't.
If we did help him, maybe he would have been more successful.
Maybe he should have told us that he is in fact an enemy of demons and not an ally. That would have been very helpful.
I doubt he
You
knew yet.
smell smoke.
Oh,
Smoke? Don't
Yeah.
set the library on fire, please.
Cinder.
Can't.
No worries. I won't set anything on fire.
Oh, hello.
Voice. As you look to see an old wizard sitting with a pipe on a stone bench, leaned back.
Of course.
Just continue. I'm just taking a rest. These old legs can't walk so far or so fast.
If you don't mind me asking, who are you? It's not often that you meet someone in the library if he's not relevant to what you're currently searching for, it appears. So I would like to know more.
He polishes his pipe a little bit, so de-ashes it on the floor. Oh, Moves down to begin picking the ashes, almost a little bit silly. The old man bending over to pick up his little ash droppings. I'm just a traveler. Don't mind me, really. Though I must say it is good to meet you. Lighting his pipe again.
What would make you say that? You sound like you know us.
The man says, "Oh, I know a little of this, a little of that, but don't worry about it. It'll just make the whole thing more difficult."
What if I like difficulty?
Just then, I suppose you're going to be very happy.
Now, I assume since you have a vague idea at least of who we are, but we don't know who you are, that you are in fact from the future, correct?
He shrugs and says, The question then would be whose future? I am certainly from my past, if that is what you ask.
I'm confused.
He
My brain
smiles,
is
slightly
numbing.
amused at you. But aren't we all truly from our pasts? Something to
Does-
consider, perhaps.
Does the strange old man seem corporeal, or is he like shimmering?
He seems somewhat corporeal, but from what you've seen in this place, that doesn't necessarily mean much.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've had this before. They go through us, we go through them.
Now, are you just going to stay there and watch us, I suppose? Or do you have a topic of conversation in mind that you are simply waiting on finding the right moment for?
Just, hmm, perhaps this is not the moment.
What is the moment then?
Just now, that would be telling, wouldn't it? Just standing up and says, things go as they go. It is not my place to change them.
Gesh will turn around and say, have I ever told you how much I hate wizards?
Liam nods.
Oh, don't worry, guess your brother will say the same thing. Now, I suppose I should be off. There are many others in this place that can give you answers, but if you want a hint, sort of, but, and I do think I want to give it to you, knowing where I stand. He sort of looks around, then stands before continuing.
Wait. You know my brother. You said that is something he will say, which means you are, in fact, from my future. Are you his future apprentice or something?
Chuckles slightly. Something like that, yes. Who you're looking for is
Wait,
a man named Grumph.
and you know me because my brother told you.
Gesh.
You're fixating on the wrong things here, I think.
Be
Just,
polite to the strange old ghost.
Oh, I know you for many reasons.
Good ones?
He sort of quirks an eyebrow. Says, that depends on who you would ask.
That's fair, I suppose. All right,
With his pipe standing here.
you may continue.
That is quite all right. You know, I have more confidence in you than I did before.
I don't know if that is a compliment, but I'll take it as one.
Many great heroes do, and many great heroes fall. Regardless, I think I've said enough. An old man should never upset the future. It is not his prerogative. You should expect this when you return to your rooms. Gesturing for the pipe. It spices up the place, the whole experience.
Much appreciated.
He pats his little wizard hat. It almost falls off his head. I'm going to see some of you again, I think.
Liam,
Until then, I wish you farewell and good travels.
Looking forward to that meeting because then I will know you without you knowing me.
He
He's already
turns
gone.
and walks, rather pleased with himself,
Yeah.
really.
All right.
Liam
We need
has
to
been
talk to.
squinting like where he stood all the time, like seemingly trying to remember something.
I mean, is this a history check worthy moment, or
Sure, you could do that.
all
Go
right?
on.
Can I get a guidance on this?
Always.
Oh, wow, that's terrible.
Liam keeps squinting.
Is it a one? Is it D4?
Before
15. It's hard enough.
There are many old wizards who walk
Yeah.
around and are mysterious in the realms.
Ah, he's so familiar though. Like, just can't.
Given that this could be from any time and any moment,
Yeah.
it is hard to say who such a wanderer might be.
Liam scratches the back of his neck, mumbling to himself. I swore the spider talked about an annoying red wizard. But was it a
As
they or
Liam
was
says
it...
that,
Uh,
you fall backwards
Ah!
before landing on a floor.
It's Liam's first time.
Another person looks at you, somewhat startled.
Oh, great.
Great.
For sneering slightly.
Oh, good.
Who might you be that called for me?
I believe we just said annoying red wizard, and there you were.
Frowns.
You're so sassy today,
Be
guy.
gone, ghosts. I have no point for
I mean, I don't know who this guy is.
I don't know many red wizards, but this.
Do they just recognize him?
No. He wears strange fashion for a red wizard. Very different from what they do now, though certainly in the similar style.
Mhm.
His speech, though you understand it, is also weird. His words carrying an unnatural slang to it.
Liam looks at him and says, what year is it?
Just why should I care? I have much too important things to deal with here. Things are grave indeed, and you spirits would know nothing of it.
Does it
I'll be
involve
gone.
does it involve demons by any chance?
No, why would it? Pathetic creatures. They are no trifle for the master.
How about purple mist?
He ignores that question.
I hope when he refers to the master, he's not referring to the last time we heard the words the master.
I think I know what master he refers to, but that's just me. And that's a bad future. We don't want that future.
I mean,
Are you by chance trying to raise Tiamat?
How's Sas Tam doing these days?
I'm just saying we've seen many futures since we've been in here, and none of them seem nice.
Who's the friendly basilisk who reaches out a hand to greet us up there?
He greeted us at the gate. Was very excited.
Like, he
speaks.
very
Yeah, he
nice.
It's very cute.
He legitimately met us at the gate, keeping his eyes at the floor, not turns to stone, and greeted us at the gate.
Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah, I want to take him home as a friendly neighborhood friend.
New party member.
Yeah, definitely. Not gonna kill Thriller off just to play the basilisk or anything. No.
So, what are you looking for? Maybe we can help. I'm a ghost after all.
Turns to you and says, you would not even know the concepts of magic that exist in the future. You are
No.
distant memories, all.
Don't try me. I'll surprise you.
Amusing. If
Listen,
only this
buddy.
place did not translate your mewlings to something I could understand, ignoring you would be more easily done.
You get
No,
rid of
he,
us
he doesn't
faster.
believe that Gash knows magic.
If you
Get rid
wish,
of
I'm
us.
not even going to try.
if you wish to know, though it will mean nothing to you, I am Enderin Zereth. I am to be Sol Kier of Thay, if everything goes as it should.
Well,
Well,
obviously,
those are
hasn't so far.
those are famous concepts. Maybe Liam will recognize that at least.
Try to make a history check.
Boy.
Have I heard of
Lion.
the Solkirs of Thay? Maybe.
I mean, with a 15, yeah, you know the concept. In the olden times, Thay was not ruled by an immortal lich god. Thay was ruled by a council of Solkirs, effectively a king for each school of magic. That was a long time ago, though, and all of them were killed.
Because
The name Enderin Zereth, though, has never been one.
well, good news and bad news. Well, I mean,
The ghost
So
bridge?
who's
Got
gonna
bad
go
news
to
and bad news.
the ghost?
No, I think it would be very rude to tell people that we are, in fact, from the future. And Gash will say this out loud, by the way. So we could tell them how a search exactly goes and what to do, how to accomplish things, but we're just ghosts. Who are we to intervene?
Yeah, we should just leave right now.
Yes, you should.
Great. So that in a few years' time you'll remember this moment and hate yourself. I like that.
remember Gesh.
If any of you live long enough, I
We
hope.
are
But if we're ghosts, we're not living, right?
Ooh.
Just keep this moment in mind. In fact, mention me by name in a book somewhere where you write down all your greatest regrets. Name is Gash. Very good.
He seems to be paying you no attention.
alright.
I'm sure you'll be happy to read it, Gash, in a few hundred years.
Can we already start
He
singing?
raises his hand
songs?
towards you, mumbles a few incantations, and then he's gone. Those
How
of you who are
rude.
clearly knowledge might have known that he tried to kill you, but that seems to simply disconnect your timelines,
Yeah.
which is
Just
perhaps what he
wasted
wanted.
the spell slot. Ha ha.
Whatever
Silly
will he
wizard.
do?
So, while we are talking to time travelers all over the place,
Uh-huh.
there's one question that Gash is very curious about.
No.
Will his brother ever have been here?
Just talk about your brother.
Please don't show. Please don't show.
Nothing appears.
Great.
Damn, it was a perfect opportunity for us to all talk about him. Get something going. But no.
Will Gesh's future wife ever have been?
Unfortunately, as we were told, the future is mutable. So.
Yeah, I don't think the future is set in stone enough for that.
We were gonna look to Roland and say, "Are you sure that's something you want to ask about?"
There is, but I've been, besides still a little disheartened from everything that happened, though he does need to catch on to what you're referring to. I wanted to make sure we covered the bigger things first.
True. I'm just reminding
The
you.
rest of you. I did promise to Gash we would come here and help him with what he wanted after I got some information.
Yes.
Quite frankly, considering we're in a place of near infinite knowledge, I think you should stop considering this as doing me a favor and acknowledging the fact that we are in a place of near infinite knowledge.
No, I think you owing me a favor feels much better to me.
Fair point. I do have one more topic I would like to look up, however, you should not be present.
Well, alright. Is it a future wife?
No. Although Riordan, perhaps you could be present for that one, although I would highly recommend that you aren't.
Oh. Well,
I'm
can I ask
trying
a
to
question?
make the obvious, very obvious at this very moment.
Yes, yes.
Good.
Yes. I'm going to leave now, guys. Can I ask your question?
That's not at all what I meant, I think. I think you're misunderstanding.
As you consider leaving Gash, you see that your room's actually right next to it.
Oh,
It's so useful.
that wasn't very far at all, was it?
Nope.
It's almost like distance in this place doesn't really matter.
Well, if if I can, I suppose I can try to ask a question myself of the crystal.
Go for it.
All you have to do is take it, and then... So,
Yeah, Gash will hand it to you.
Roland would like to ask, would like to basically would like to try and ask essentially what drow and of course by extension what house bought his recently I say recently captured family.
he mentions his family by name.
He'll name all 6 of them by name.
Sure. He feels, sees blackness and feels the bite of a many-tailed whip across his back. Over and over and over, striking down hard. He feels himself, his magic, knowing that he must do this for his family. He's racing up stones, placing them upon one another. The rest of them, his family too, are working, slaving away, constructing things. He remembers some of what happened, the terrors he saw. He no longer remembers really who he is, but he remembers it, the destruction of the city, everything torn down. It must be rebuilt, or the masters will continue to punish them all. Such suffering and regret. Some say that once a son could exist, but he doesn't remember what it looks like, what it could feel like. From this, Roland can gather, his family is currently, or has at least been used as construction slaves, apparently repairing major damage done to the city of spiders at some point. Beyond that, they seem to be worked hard to the bone, with little care for their real safety or sustainability, being given just enough to continue living. The city itself, which means most likely the priesthood of Lolth being their owners.
As Roland kind of calms back to his senses, Roland's bit down his lip slightly from kind of the feelings of the whip hitting him. So that he doesn't really care about so much. As Roland just looks, I think, understandably angry. Also, at the same time, a little disheartened. Still, it tells him where they are. It tells him that they might still be alive, if barely.
Oh, they are. It is pretty recent.
But it doesn't help the fact that doesn't help him necessarily find a way to get to them. But at least they're there, and they seem to at least still be in their, well, a regular form still.
The place can only give you knowledge, never plans.
Unfortunately, assaulting the city of spiders is a pretty hard thing to do.
Might I borrow? Giving a nod at Gesh. He'll think about his aunt back at home every winter.
And a nice thought, perhaps.
Not really, but
Has she had any trouble sleeping recently?
yes.
He sees her, though not in a place he knows. He is in Duskin, a nice villa. Husband, no longer needing to be hidden. The wealth has come, and the Centaurium has paid well for the libraries and the access to them. Soon, the Hotspot can deal in things much more valuable than books and scripture. Nobody needs that anyway. She knows she succeeded. She's happy to live her life, though there is a piercing suspicion that something's wrong. At times, she wakes up with the knowledge that something terrible is going to happen. But surely that can't be real.
He's
Just
sad.
because
She's
it's
just
not
going
real.
to enjoy the life she has won.
Because it's not real doesn't mean it can't be terrible.
Well, her time is very limited. That's all I'll say. All right. Yeah. That answers my questions.
I do have 2 more topics I can think about, but get those last, I guess. Any of you have more pressing concerns?
Roland has one more question. It's not pressing, but it's something he's curious about.
Sure, ask away.
As Roland pauses for a moment, kind of looking at the crystal in his hand. As he kind of coughs a little bit, like struggling to get out the words initially for a second as he kind of thinks. Faram Zillicent, my father. How did he die?
He falls once more into darkness. His father, an intelligent man, perhaps more intelligent than Roland himself. Adventurous, brave, traveler of the underdog. A footnote in history. It is with hindsight that Roland notices this man working. He is underground, dark caverns, speaking to another elf. Though your father looks very different from what you remember. He disappeared in the Underdark. That was always what you knew.
Mm-hmm.
But you see him here, looking like a drow, speaking to another, purchasing slaves. Denial is perhaps the first thing. And it is quickly reinforced as you see an arrow pointing at him. Around the rocks, in dark places, other drow are watching, listening to the exchange. Soon, bolts fly. 2 bodies, your father and another, fall to the ground. Perhaps questioning if you really want to know more, you see them taken. Long was the torture that followed his capture. It ended with him broken, no longer the man you knew, thing more than a person. Only then was he fed to the massive, opulent spiders in Queen's Court. For an elf spy is never
Certainly not a good fate for anyone.
no.
As Roland gives out a very pained and quite sad look on the across his face as he kind of process what's going through it. Knowing his father, well, he disappeared and was likely dead, and this confirms, in a brutal way, what happened. As he'll just silently have the crystal float over into Gesh's hands.
All right. Well, I'm curious. Therefore, Gesh is curious. What happens if he looks up himself?
Nothing.
That's his
He
point.
finds himself in his room.
Nothing about my own past. That's sad.
It appears that Gesh is here right now, and as such, Gesh is Gesh.
Hmm.
What does happen, though, is that someone else seems to also have done the same thing. As you look around, trying to see if anything has changed, your companions here, you see King Brunor Battlehammer,
Oh. Well,
older than you remember him, by quite a lot. His hair slightly matted grey and white, more lines on his face, a few new scars. He looks at you, and his face falls into a smile, tired.
well, hello there. How's it going in the future?
I was told not to tell you too much, but I wanted to see you. All of you.
Oh, that seems rather counterproductive. What's the harm in telling us what the hell we should do at this point? Because we've got all the knowledge in the world, but are lacking the right questions.
You might change things, and perhaps knowing that I don't want you to would be knowledge enough.
I suppose then we can just sit down and do nothing, because surely that is the way to succeed. Although I suppose I shouldn't attempt to torture you about questions you cannot give us, nor
I
answers.
simply wanted to shake your hand.
I don't think that's physically possible.
You know, I was told so. Sort of looks around his. You know, they say I've grown senile. Can you believe it?
I mean, you are literally right now talking to not ghosts, but something even more confusing, so I can't blame people for calling you that.
I
quite
wanted
mad,
to
really.
see you. Looks to Liam. You too, boy.
Stands illustrator. I guess looks up at Bruno. Is he wearing the same armor? Like
It
what's
is
the-
battle worn. Not the same, no. Must have been exchanged at some point.
Liam tries to look for like basically hints on Brunor's like character. You know what it looks like, what he's wearing. Trying to suss out what the future is like.
Huh? Sure, have like an insight.
Sure. It's not what I'm good at, but
Roland will assist you.
Behind him, you see the shadow of his demonic master.
yeah, that's sort of what I'm.
Well,
For 20.
uh,
Hey.
well, you see a few things. His armor is well made, forged in fire, in the forges of Gauntlgrim. It is not new, however, and he wears it heavily, his old body weakened by age at this point. He has many wrinkles. It seems he has smiled a lot in his life, but also many scars that suggest that, well, he's also fought a lot.
Mhm.
He does not seem to be here with sorrow as he looks at you. His eyes filling a bit with tears, perhaps, but more of pride than sorrow as he looks about. You've already done so much. Coming here, as I told you.
There,
He shakes his head slightly. I shouldn't be here. They told me not to, but I just... This place, you can't help it. Thoughts linger and wander.
Now, allow me one question, even though I know you're not supposed to answer. How's my brother coping these days?
Who?
I
Shrugs.
suppose that's good.
I can't answer your questions. To be honest, I was looking for another one. Maybe you've seen him.
Oh,
Sort of gestures to the beard, just longer than mine. Pipe.
oh,
Wizard.
dressed in black.
Yes. He nods.
We've seen him, yes.
Who is he?
An old friend. Well, a new friend. Frowns at me. I don't know where he is. I suppose thinking of old friends, though, brought you here. It's good to see you. Before the end.
Uh-huh. Looks him up and down.
I would
Well,
bow, but my old bones. I'm not what I have been. Damned elves. Never grow old.
No need to bow among friends.
That's getting
Yeah,
rather
that's-
silly, I have to say.
Does Liam didn't sense any horrific demonic puppeteering?
No. No. Seems to be old and tired from a lot of struggle, but
Mhm. Well, I mean, seeing you here tells us good things, I guess.
I'm told that you could change it. That anyone could. But that's from your perspective.
He sort of massages the bridge of his nose.
Yeah,
Time
he
travel
nods
makes him
this.
dizzy.
Giants. Apparently this place will not last forever either. We should have done something.
Nothing lasts forever.
True.
We just need to make things last just long enough so that it's not us who has to worry about things ending, really.
When you see
Or
me,
anyone you care about.
say hello. So a smile. That should give me a headache. Perhaps it did. He seems to think back.
Hmm.
I never. The Dolzoon. Thank you. All of you.
Well,
I am sorry to know what you will go through, but
You know what? You're not helping.
not as I. Aye. He sort of sacks more, turns, then looks one last time, giving you a nod before leaving.
Although in retrospect, I think he did help.
I mean, he told us it's possible at least.
told us we were doing well, I guess. We were on the right track. He seemed content with where
And
things
he-
ended.
And he appreciated that we did in fact do something.
Yeah, if he showed up like covered in like horrid scars and like nearly collapsed, then we had a different story.
Well,
Run!
fools! Whatever you do, don't listen to. Oh!
You know.
Well, he seemed like he hadn't seen us in quite a while, which I don't want to think about that right now.
From the looks of him, I would say several hundred years have passed.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to grow that old.
No.
Me and Cyril have some
You
time.
me
to
have
do that.
already, so.
Uh,
Oh right, Jonas. Gesh's magical age has disappeared
what?
At least while we're in here.
while we're in
At
here.
least while we're in here, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if
Gesh
it's
is
going.
young and hale again.
But we may live long enough, but you three?
Damn elves.
Oh, sure, I'll find a way.
I mean,
As Liam says that, it's echoed by a young woman's voice. Damn elves.
I know, right?
I'll make you
basically
old, Gesh.
around the corner walks a young, beautiful human woman, about her mid-20s. She looks like an adventurer, the magical kind, wearing black, almost sort of not menacingly black, but more sort of black as night, with linings of silver moonlight. She walks in quick steps and seems to be mumbling herself, slightly cursing the stubbornness of elves. She walks past, turns slightly to see you, and then raises a hand in greeting.
Oh, you wave back.
Cyrilla will say, we're only stubborn because we have the time to be able to think over our decisions.
Oh. Well, sometimes action is important. And sometimes we need to act. Holding old grudges has never been good for anyone. Though, I suppose me arguing with you makes really little difference. I don't even know when you're from.
That is quite possibly the oddest question or the oddest statement I've ever heard. But it's true.
Nods. On the stubbornness of elves, though, no time will be long enough for me to complain enough. If it was not for that, we would already have everything going. The fact that I'm here proves it, doesn't it?
What exactly did the elf do? Or not do?
Well, you may not understand, or you may already know the story. However, the elven peoples, beautiful and wonderful as they are, have a tendency to arrogance. It is hard to work together, to get them to be part of a common collective, a union of states that can lead the North into a better tomorrow, a future of cooperation and prosperity. Silvery Moon has a mythal. It can exist by itself, sure, but it cannot exist alone.
So,
I'm
like,
here to try to solve this problem once and for all, and it is proving very difficult.
so you're talking of an alliance of lords of sorts?
It is of sorts, yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Dwarven realms, the human realms, and the Elven realms united in one. There will be threats we cannot face alone.
Proves. That's like a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. You should follow it
Would you like
entirely.
to do a history check, anyone? You certainly can.
Sure.
You might know something of this. Or you don't have to care.
I mean, sure.
Cyrilla will have advantage.
Okay. So I'm not great at it.
Yeah,
And
it's
you know
not-
what? I'm gonna guidance myself, so screw everything.
Who is this person?
Hang on.
Huh.
It's
Well, that has a
22.
22.
Well, yeah, she would recognize that this appears to be a young, very young version of a person called Illustrial Silverhand.
Oh
A famous human wizard who created the Kingdom of Luror, or rather the Commonwealth of Luror, the first alliance between dwarves, men, and elves. That lasted for a very long time and brought much prosperity to the region. Eventually, though, it was overwhelmed by orcs that ended up destroying Gauntlgrim and breaking the alliance apart from it.
Mhm.
It is something the Lord's Alliance somewhat tries to build their current setup on. Sort of your Rome, if you will.
Well, Cyril will say that I'm sure you will do great.
Well, if only I could be more convinced myself. I'm sorry. I understand that this place works in strange ways, and I suppose I didn't mean to suggest you were a stubborn elf.
Ah, but I am.
Mostly arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
Gives him a slight chin nod. It is an unfortunate tendency that comes with greatness, that those who are great will often forget why they became great in the first place.
In Zero's case, I think the answer is she was born, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was born amazing.
Always. You know it.
Now, I don't mean to take up your time. We all have our own, and I understand it's best if we keep it that way. So, whichever past or future you're from, good luck with whatever you have to do.
Oh boy.
Good luck with yours.
Yes.
I don't
Thank you.
suppose how you do you have any tips on how to stop
She hasn't figured that bit out yet. Come on.
This place truly is remarkable, though, isn't it?
Yes, words escape.
I've met people here. Like you, for example. I don't know many of them. Really, mostly none of them, but everyone seems to be here with such a purpose. I think
Well, certainly
I
it's a
will not
place
come
that-
here again. She nods to herself. Yes, I think one visit here is quite enough for me. It is a surreal place. It makes you question things that perhaps you shouldn't.
Why not?
Just if I worry too much about what will come, then I might forget to care about the past, which could then change the future. It's rather risky, I would say.
Unless you've already done it in a future version of yourself, and in which case you wouldn't be changing anything.
And that's the problem, isn't it? You can't really know. Gestures. Well, if your rooms are as nice as mine, I suppose we should all go to them and consider what we've learned. At least I'm done here for now. If I can speak through stubbornness, then well, we might all be praised. Well then, she will continue walking the hallway.
Liam will turn to Gesh and sort of blink a little bit and says, sort of zoned out a bit. Have we learned what we came to learn?
Well, we've learned quite a bit. If you look on this map that Gashwell caught his pocket, and also the descent into the depths map, we've at least figured out who's all involved, and come to the conclusion that there's 8 demon princes involved.
Princes or princesses.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We've got Orcus, Bahamut, who unfortunately is not Bahamut, it's in the dragon, which would be much better. He's, I think he is the demon prince of like Minotaurs and labyrinths or something. Baphomet. Okay, I misspelled that completely.
Yes.
Prince of Beasts. Yeah. We've actually met Grass in the library, the demon prince of Succubi or whatever, who's apparently here to figure out the other's weaknesses, and is a bit upset that we messed up his plans.
Luckily, he can't destroy us in here. We're kind of safe from that.
Yeah, we Yeah, Queen of Rod, Yinobu, the beast of no, the prince of
The Beast of Butchery.
Butchery, yeah, the Knoll guy. Jublex, of course.
Yeah, we all
Demogorgon.
know old Juby. We know him.
Yeah,
Lolf.
and Lolf.
Lolf.
Notable is that when we talked about the giant brain that we learned about last time that Orcus had resurrected into undeath, we talked to a mind flayer who was apparently in the library in the past, who told us that he will meet us if we leave and go north 3 days.
Okay.
Because he would rather not have the giant brain dying, because he was in fact looking for a way to save it from dying in the first place.
Okay.
Some years ago,
Oh,
presumably.
sure.
So we met him from the past, who said he would remember that he met us and then go to meet us in the present.
Okay.
I think that makes sense.
Yep.
But have we figured out how to stop the demon? No.
Not yet.
Jet, you have to ask that question.
Do we know the source? Like, why are they here? Do we know?
We have some ideas we've come up with. We haven't figured out.
We
Tough
we
fuck.
know that the abyss currently is full of loaf babies.
Yeah, basically what we got transported to see the view of the abyss, and we saw Lolf there, and the abyss seemed pretty much empty. We saw like all the staggering layers, but it seemed almost entirely empty, except we could see Lolf, Lolf there, surrounded by enough eggs to be able to fill the entire abyss of her minions.
That's a lot of eggs.
Yeah.
So I sort of assumed that Lolf just kicked out the others.
And
She's like doing a power play.
she also got really upset when we scryed on her and tried
Just scream.
psychic screaming us, which enough to like shatter part of the abyss by doing it. She wasn't happy with the scream on her.
So Lolth is doing a power play. The rest of the demons go through here, but maybe
That's our idea.
Why did the ritual even like? Why did the drow do this? Did they do it as a way to call Lolth, but they had the opposite effect, like drew everyone but her here, and so she's happy now because she can expand the realm and everyone is here.
Yeah, we're not sure yet. We don't have any. We're not sure yet. I came up with the idea that maybe it's like Lolth trying to like ascend in power, but she needs like more of the abyss to do it.
Well, how about
Basically,
Perhaps
we need to investigate.
I can help with that question.
Wait, what?
Mhm.
You met you before? No, we have not. met.
I thought that said death salad.
Almost.
As a drow in a long flowing green robe steps into, looking around sourly, as a drow who has not slept a lot. That is for them.
He doesn't look happy now.
She looks at you. You have been asking questions. Questions which I too have asked.
And have you found an answer?
Yes, I have.
Wonderful.
Looks him up and down. Does he wear any sigils or heraldry or anything to identify?
Does he? Well, how much do you know about drow sigils?
Well, let's find out.
Oh, I know about the houses, so maybe I know about the sigils.
12.
Let me try and help you here.
Better.
Oh, I'm assuming we have a guidance on this, so
You always have guidance. It's just a thing. It's worth a go.
19 apparently.
yeah.
It appears, as a matter of fact, that he is wearing some sigils. However, they don't seem to be of any drow house nor of a drow deity or demon.
Okay.
He's independent.
Liam looks him up and down and says, "You are not wearing any of the heraldry of the great houses, nor any of the demons," although he looks over to the slod.
It
Suspiciously.
stands there like salivating.
Uh,
This is Cleve. Just blood. He makes sure that nothing happens here untoward.
Now,
Glares at him. Well, you offered to provide answers.
exactly. Or at least taunted us with the fact you know them.
You can call me Vizeran.
Right.
I have been working to foil this foul plot of my drow brethren for quite some time. This is why I'm here. This is why I've been staying here for so long. I believe, as a matter of fact, even though you are not here right now, you will find me here when you are. Until then, you should ask about Grumph Benre, Archmage of Mensabaranzan. He is the man who made this happen.
Could you spell that name for me?
It is the drow's nature to have names that are hard to pronounce and spell. There you go.
I really need to learn Undercommon, is what I'm hearing.
This is the
Well,
hint that
it's
we got,
unimportant.
right? From old wizard man that we don't know.
Now I should be in my room. If you wish to speak more about how to stop this, come find me.
Alright, cool.
Or investigation.
We will.
It is excellent. I shall await you. Then he goes to do that, supposedly.
So we need to find out who this Gronth person is.
Well, the one responsible for everything.
Bane. That is a
Bane Ray.
terrible name.
Crystal, do your job.
Isn't it Grumph?
Gromp is an unfortunate first name, yeah.
You speak the name and you see a scowl. Not just a scowl, a drow one. Not just a drow one, but a perfected drow sneer.
Alright.
An imperious drow archwizard in spider silk robes is casting a spell. Not a simple spell. A conjuration spell to change fates. A ritual that draws along its conclusion and brings in the Fezrez energy of the entire Underdark, draining it of its protection to conjure something enormous. Something, however, is not right. The wizard's scowl, his sneer, appears to be from alarm. His efforts to complete the spell is pulling the skin from his fingers. He's trying to hold it. The power of the Fezres, more than he expected. The rift he has created growing ever larger. Then, suddenly, silence and madness. Rifts open in the web of energy around him. Cracks that begin to stretch and widen in space. Through them comes a horrific, fiendish scream, a shriek and howl, as not a single thing, but many fall from the ceiling, out of the abyss and into the Underdark.
Oh my god.
You hear, from the other side, a deep woman's laugh, dark and echoing in the mind of this wizard as his skin is flayed off and he shrinks away from the demonic horde he has unleashed.
This guy's dumb.
I mean, all these fucking mages, man.
What? Mages, they get up there, they get up having 9th level spells, they think they can rule the world.
Yeah,
Yep.
Always
it is.
wizards, isn't it?
It is. It's always wizards.
And we can say the plot was caused by a wizard, did it?
They just hang around in their like
The
dark
many
towers.
insignias upon him will certainly show that this man is or was the official High Mage of the High Arcana of Mensporanzan.
Oh.
Basically, though, he was, he was their top mage. He was the most powerful mage they had, and he believed he was able to basically draw Loth into this world, but instead broke a rift
Yeah.
to summon all the other
I
ones.
hate this
Yeah.
person.
It's like, oh no, it was more powerful than I thought. It's like, yeah, that's what happened with
Mhm.
evil wizards. This always happens.
Guess what? You tried to summon one of the most powerful demon lords that have ever existed.
Look what they got.
Well, alright. That's good info at least.
Ugh. Well, I need to
You couldn't have started with like little Jublex or something. That would have been easy for you.
Little Jubalex. Baby
Little-
Jubalex.
Little Jub, as we call him,
Baby Jubs.
Jubbies. But yeah, I guess now we have to find our mysterious benefactor in his room.
We will do that,
Yeah.
but I just need to go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, maybe next time because it is late.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
We're not even here for an hour, Jonas.
Well,
Uh-huh.
We
You
can
know-
do next time.
You
It
know,
might also be
for
good
hours.
for Jonas to get a recap before we actually.
but you know, Valky, this place does exist outside time and space. You say he's only been here an hour. He says he's been here forever.
I've been here forever.
Wow.
You know, the
Hope
only
you're enjoying the library.
Yeah, it's great.
You know,
It's
somebody's
a
been a long time here.
suitably weird place, that's for sure.
Interesting.
It's so rare. It's so rare we get those of time travel, let alone 12.
There's so much more for it to offer. But yeah,
the only downside is
we'll continue this next time.
the only
Yeah, but-
downside is that we don't level up from the library. It's so sad.
Well, see.
I mean, I think the library's worth XP.
Time travel is worth XP, right?
I mean, we found the library. We talked to a
No,
mysterious.
Yeah, but we need 4,300
Yes.
XP each.
Yes, I wouldn't recommend bringing time travel into the XP equation because he might take away XP.
It's true.
It was in the past. Or in the future.
Also, Valkyrie, the thing I said earlier about wanting to do something in private that maybe Riordan could come along.
Yeah.
I want to ask about Denda. But the
Oh.
Night Serpent.
Yes,
Oh.
the Night Serpent.
That
He
at all.
wakes. He wakes.
Yeah, sure. I can pop in for that.
Do you want to though?
Well, I mean, I'm already kind of like it's not technically
Sorry to
packed,
wait.
He's already in.
but I'm already connected to some
So
degree.
you, even though you've killed nothing, you have done story missions worth 6,000 XP per character,
Oh,
Hey.
damn.
which puts you to 65,700, which
Is a level up.
That's level 10.
Hooray! We did it.
Level
Dark, I can get
10.
my spells.
Mm-hmm.
I can get Wall of Force.
perhaps much of the knowledge you can gain from your level up here also can be gained by, your characters actually studying.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff to read up on.
That's actually very applicable because I get my magical secrets
Yeah.
on this level. So.
Level 10, it's almost like the game wanted to.
Ooh.
I learned Eldritch Strike. Don't you know?
I rolled a 1 on my hit die.
Don't you know?
I mean, the only thing I really get other than another spell, actually, I don't even get another spell. I get another cantrip. Right?
I get another
I-
cantrip and another spell.
But I get another feature from my patron, so maybe that's very appropriate to do like just before or after asking about it.
Any enemy I hit gets gets disadvantage on a saving throw against my spells until the end of my next turn.
Oh yeah, my bard inspiration dies are now D10s.
Nice.
I only gain one major thing from this level. Next level's when I gain something really cool. What I gain right now, though, Misty, I think Liam would agree it's pretty good, though. I gain Action Surge.
Yeah, action surge is good. Everyone loves the
So,
action surge.
Quick question. I can pick 2 spells from anything, so I'm gonna pick Wall of Force. But you guys have any suggestions on the last one?
Look at the paladin spell list.
What?
Okay.
Yeah,
Dawn.
Because the Paladin spell list has really powerful spells at low levels because Paladins get them slowly.
It's true. You should definitely get Dawn. Double Dawn power!
There's a cool one at least. I don't think there's a fitting one unless you want like Find Steed.
Yeah.
Well, there is Fine Greater Steep, but that's not gonna work down here. So,
Let's see. What level can you pick?
well, 5th now. Let me double check that. Let's see. 10. No, yeah, 5th level.
Alright.
Yeah, next.
Oh, expertise. Oh, I got expertise as well.
Oh, that's nice.
2 skill proficiencies. All right.
Yeah, next level is when things get really fun for me, Jonas.
Yeah.
Because what I plan to pick up is I can't remember what the ability is called. It basically means when someone misses me, I get to make an attack back at them, off the Battle Master, which is important because I can sneak attack on any other person's turn as well. So I get to sneak attack on my attack on my riposte.
And you know, I don't know if you're gonna pick up more Battlemaster stuff down the way, but if someone
might
is
do.
stunned, you could grant me an additional attack against something that's stunned. For example.
But yeah, that might be something I do later on.
Not to crit,
Depending.
just do horrible things.
Any of the Battle Master stuff that doesn't rely on charisma is a potential thing for me.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting on the Paladin spell list.
I also get my tool proficiency next time, which is either going to be cooking tools or art tools. I haven't actually decided. One of the two.
Now, I hope you had fun. You
Yeah.
can certainly stay and talk about your levels and such. I, however,
Good night, Manica.
I'm
it's been a rough day. And, tired.
going to stop the recording on the stream as well.
Yeah, I hope you had a good